born in the country of Ghost, Curry, Gauss, and Crusader level Dota. 4 boys fought to become the best Curry casters in all of SEA. Having gone through a rigorous regimen of Bollywood dancing. And ancient Eastern vocal exercises.
Hello sir, welcome to technical support. How may I help you?
Hey, my coffee holder's broken.
I beg pardon sir?
You know you push that button on your computer and the coffee holder comes out?
Sir, no one has ever done that. No one has ever done that in the history of Dota.
They do play-by-play.
Splinter blast from Fly, rolling bowler coming in from Jerax, he drops the magnetize, has the urn, you got the Arctic burn coming out from Fly, Geomagnetic grip coming through from Jerax, boulder smash to follow, they bring down Chessie and
They do SEA.
Magandang gabi, Lu! Magandang gabi! Let's Gago! Gago, this is Gaga! Ulol! You cannot spell Ulol without you!
Loki, V-Wake, Gambit, and Cloud X are back! Back to back! Only at AFK Gaming!
Okay folks, looks like we finally do have the game. Players are connecting, so we should be in the game any moment soon. Yeah, for those of you just tuning in, this is the Star Ladder I-League Invitational. My name is Vivek, with me is Floki. This is a best of 3 between Fnatic and Execration. How's it going, Floki?
I'm doing just fine. How are you doing, Vivek?
Okay, I am doing well, but I am not able to load into the game.
Neither am I. The players are still connecting for me.
Okay, pretty much the same same issue over here. We should be in soon. But yeah, quick predictions from your part on this game, looking at past history and whatever little or lots we know about these teams.
So Fnatic loves banning Shadow Shaman against teams that do run it. They first face it very often. They do that against OG a lot. And Execration is the new edition of Execration with OVA. Loves to run the Shadow Shaman. So
wait, this is Execration with OVA?
Yes, this is Execration with OVA, the former Signify player.
Yes. Okay. So, in India's very own.
Yeah, India's very own. So
okay.
So they are gonna ban that. Now another thing I'd like to point out is that Execration always first phase bans the puck. Now Fnatic hasn't run the puck in quite a while, but we have seen Abed, who has played a killer puck in the last year. Not sure if you watched all of some of his games, but on his puck he was just absolutely phenomenal. So if they do decide to give Abed a puck, that could be something to look out for. But what I've noticed, the trend generally is to give Abed those farming mid heroes like Tinker, Phantom Lancer, TA, etc. etc. They don't give Abed these space creating kind of heroes. It's usually EE on heroes like Weaver or some other space creating strength or melee agility core who roams around the map and creates space for his coast.
Okay. I have loaded into the game, and you spoke about what both teams like to ban. A couple of heroes that are probably going to be first phase banned, in my opinion. Omni Knight, Nyx, maybe the Undying.
I think Night Stalker too.
Okay.
For Fnatic, they love banning that hero.
For now, Execration, I've taken Earth Spirit out of the equation. It is something Fnatic do like to run a lot on DJ. But yeah, he's got a wide pool. He's been known for that phenomenal playmaking Rubik of his, and maybe we might see some of that this game. But yeah, Rubik's sort of situational. I spoke of the Omni Knight getting banned out in the first phase, and I think we might see Panda as well as Nyx just getting banned out here.
Yeah, Ohio loves to play that hero, and of late, what Fnatic has been doing is that they have been giving the Ohio a lot of underlords. So That's a hero to watch out for. And the Shadow Shaman ban, as I spoke of earlier, Fnatic loves to ban out the Shadow Shaman. They prioritize it highly, and they ban it out against Execration.
I mean, a lot of people are saying that Shadow Shaman is the new Omni Knight. Back in the day when you could pick Omni Knight and pretty much just auto win all your pubs, they're equating Shadow Shaman to be the new Omni Knight. And yeah.
It's an Omni Knight that gives you disable and lets you push.
Yeah, the Omni Knight does. Yeah, he's the Omni Knight that gives you disable and lets you push. But primarily because he's one of those fights that has like a high base damage, and he can just smack the offlaner all by himself. And there are very few offlaners who can trade hits with the Shadow Shaman this early on.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what Execration bans here. Are they gonna ban the Puck, or are they gonna ban an EE hero? Because generally during times like these, Fnatic first picks the Weaver and they ban out the Bounty Hunter. Okay. I haven't.
I think we might see the EE heroes get banned out in the second phase.
The which heroes?
Eternal Envy's heroes getting banned out in the second phase. I think it's more likely we'll see that then. But yeah, Bounty Hunter, he's been picked a fair bit. Secret, I mean, their fixed opening in Dream League was Bounty Hunter Witch Doctor, if that wasn't denied to them. And he's generally a good, strong roaming 4. And I mean, no matter what deficit you're working against, Track Gold is always a means to come back into the game. But yeah, Fnatic, they're going to ban out the bait. Now, a lot of heroes are in the pool. You got the Nyx, and I think Execration could pick it up if they want to.
Yeah, the Nyx is a fantastic option over here. I also think Fnatic just might go YOLO and pick up the Weaver for EV right off the bat. They did that a lot in the Summit 8. If there was a tournament you were watching, they often just first pick the Weaver, and they usually resulted in enemy teams not paying a lot of attention to the Weaver. Like, they didn't try to hard counter it.
Okay.
And Weaver is also good against the Tiny, the armor reduction.
Oh, so you're saying Fnatic could pick up the Weaver?
Yeah, Fnatic, but
okay.
Like they're gonna go
I think that's going to come to the second phase. I think we may or may not see a Weaver in the second phase, but for now, Fnatic, they're going to pick up the Tusk, most likely for DJ. The Ancient Apparition is probably going to be handled by Pilot. Execration, they have Nyx in the pool. If they want it, I'm pretty sure they're going to probably pick up the Nyx or the Rubik. A really strong 4. But yeah, it's going to be the Ogre instead.
I was going to say the Ogre because he's super good with the Tiny. Now that Tiny doesn't really need a constant person to say tether him like Io, he can just put an Ogre in the draft and he'll always make use of the attack speed that the Ogre provides.
Absolutely. Bloodlust, Tree Grab, it's a pain to deal with. I presume in this next set of bans we might see the Medusa getting taken out of the equation by either one of these teams. Yeah, and there you go. Medusa banned out by Fnatic.
Yeah, Execration. Not sure what they're looking to ban of here. Maybe they ban of the EE hero over here. Like right now, this is the point where Fnatic start picking up the heroes for Eternal Envy. What are good Eternal Envy heroes this game?
So what are Eternal Envy heroes? I mean, he likes to play like really strong heroes. Who take a lot to bring down. A couple of patches ago, and especially in his SEA matchmaking, which he does stream every now and then, he likes to play the Bristleback. He likes the Medusa himself, which I'm a bit surprised that he ended up banning. He likes the Weaver. What else does Eternal Envy like to play?
He occasionally also plays the Ursa. If you've seen that, he plays Ursa quite often. In the sense,
this set of bans, I think Razor might get Razor goes.
Yeah, Razor goes away.
So I mean, so far the draft is progressing in a rather standard manner. No surprises just yet. I'm not entirely sure as to why Fnatic picked up the Ancient Apparition. It probably indicates that they themselves could be looking at something like a Timbersaw or a Dragon Knight if they want to push. And now with the Death Prophet, a Dragon Knight does make sense. Execration, they respond with a lot of magic damage. They picked up the Gyrocopter. That's going to be their team fight element. They could pick up the Pucks, and then you got the Coil, which is great setup for the call down if you do need that. But yeah, for now we're looking at an Arbit Death Prophet.
Could this be a mid Gyrocopter?
A mid Gyrocopter?
Yeah. Tiny.
I mean, we've spoken about this. I think the Tiny might go to the offlane.
Yeah, Tiny offlane. Huh, that makes a lot of sense too. Tiny could go in the offlane, but he doesn't do well against Ancient Apparition and Tusk. I mean, these are just heroes that are gonna run at you with Chilling Touch level 1, and if you walk up to the creep wave, you're just gonna die. Especially now that Chilling Touch slows you by 30%, I think. 30% move speed slow at level 1. Am I correct? Let me just check that. So, Chilling Touch.
Huh. You said they don't need the IO with the Tiny. The Ogre fills that role. But Execration is still going to pick up the IO. And it's been ages. I mean, excluding Fnatic, it's been ages that I've seen any other team from SEA pick up the IO.
I haven't seen any team pick up the IO in quite a while, to be fairly honest with you.
I mean, EU does like the IO. But, I mean, it's not out of favor there as well. But yeah, you almost never see the IO in SEA. And this leads me to believe that Fnatic might just expend that last ban on the puck, because what Execration seem to be missing right now is a mid laner. The one that comes to mind, the one that could really fulfill Execration's requirements out of the draft is possibly the puck. So we might see a puck getting banned out here by Fnatic.
My Dota
just out the Knicks.
Okay. Huh. So
they're on the same page as you. They think this is a mid gyrocopter, I think.
Yeah, this looks like a mid Gyrocopter, because Gyrocopter does super well against the Death Prophet. Now, Death Prophet is the kind of hero who likes to run at you, push the wave in, and Gyrocopter with his first skill, that is Rocket Barrage and Flag Cannon, deals very well with both of those aspects. So not only is he going to be able to push the lane out if it gets pushed into him, he can also respond and fight the Death Prophet if she decides to run at him with the Spirit Siphon and Tuska. And another thing, since Tuska likes to snowball into people, if they snowball into the Gyrocopter, it could be certain death for him, especially if the Ogre or the IO is around. So I actually wouldn't mind seeing the Gyrocopter go mid. Now, Execration, they have the last band remaining, so this looks like an Abaddon offering for Fnatic.
Okay, yeah, it mostly is.
Or if he has gone crazy, he might just take Abaddon to the safe lane and build Radiance. Doesn't seem like too bad of an idea this game, considering that Execration's heroes just like to run at you.
Yeah, I think we're still looking at a safe lane Abaddon coming out from Fnatic. Last ban from Execration, they're looking at banning out an Eternal Envy hero. I think Weaver's in the pool. There is some lockdown, but possibly not enough. Do you want to take your chances and let Weaver slip through? Is the question. But Eternal Envy has a huge pool. He plays the Terrorblade. He plays the Luna as well.
Okay,
and
Ursa picked up
Panda getting banned out.
Yeah, so they don't want to give EE the Ursa. I guess that's why they pick it up. This hero is probably going to go mid, I think. It might be the Ursa mid over the Gyro.
Do you think we're going to see the IO and the Ursa mid?
Seems like a decent combination to me. I mean, I provide some move speed to Ursa can slow the Death Prophet, run at her, right click a little bit. But this Ursa might have a hard time in the mid lane, because Death Prophet kinda does well against Ursa. And if if Tusk and Apparition decide to rotate, Ursa could possibly turn around and fight, but he's certainly gonna die. So, last.
Do you think there's a possibility of an offensive tri-lane for Execration?
They do have the right heroes for it, but I'm not sure which hero they send for the aggressive tri-lane. And against an Ancient Apparition, I don't think the idea of tri-laning is super decent, because the level 1 advantage is always going to be with the team that has the Apparition, since you're going to be doing more damage with the right clicks, and since you have something like Snowball as well, you can just run at a hero and kill them. And if you notice, Execration don't really have any lockdown to prevent those heroes from running at them at level 1. And it's gonna be the Tinker for Abed. So this is gonna be a safe lane EE Death Prophet. Okay. So yeah, I guess the Tinker does really well against the heroes of Execration. I mean, IO, super squishy, is just gonna die very easily to laser missiles.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to see this. Fnatic have that odd flexibility because they have Abed in their lineup. They can pretty much give him anything and kind of work the drafts around him. But yeah, I didn't see Safe Lane Dead Profit coming. Let me just put it that way.
No, but I guess it's kind of foreseen because I haven't seen Fnatic give Abed any sort of space creating kind of core in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 games that they've played.
That is true. I mean, Abed's role is to farm.
Yeah.
If anything, and Eternal Envy goes and creates space, and there's a 50-50 chance that he does it.
Yep.
But yeah. So yeah, Safe Lane Dead Prophet, that's going to be the hero that's going to be creating space. Ohio is going to be heading to the offlane with the Abaddon. And yeah, I can't even say which draft I prefer more. On paper, I'm leaning towards Execration.
I like Fnatic's draft. Just a second, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Prepare for battle.
Okay. We have a little bit of time and I'm going to quickly run through these lineups. I'm sure you're familiar with them already, but that's not a reason not to. We've got Eternal Envy playing the Dead Prophet. Going to the mid lane is Abed on the Tinker. DJ on the 4 position, playing that Tusk Ancient Apparition in the hands of Pile. And heading to the off lane on the Abaddon is Ohio. On the other side of the river for Execration, we've got Lumic playing the Ogre. Carl going to be playing the Gyrocopter. Ursa in the hands of Raging Potato. Io going to be played by a Bang. And Yaj, who was once upon a time part of Happy Feet, going to be playing the Tiny.
Looks like OA is no longer a part of Execration. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, you got my hopes up. I expected Ova to be playing, but yeah, it doesn't seem as if Ova's part of the lineup.
Last time I checked, they were playing with Ova, so...
Okay.
Yeah. So you did speak about the aggressive tri-lane, and it does come out from Execration. It's gonna be the Guido, Ogre, and Io, who's gonna be heading bot lane against the EE Death Prophet.
Okay. So they want to apply pressure early on the Dead Prophet. The good thing about a Dead Prophet is her ultimate is still her ultimate and it's still effective whether she gets farm or not. But obviously you want her to have farm and levels.
It's like Death Prophet.
I'm still... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Death Prophet will still have impact on this game as long as she gets a timely Yules or Pipe or whatever it is that she decides to go. But looks like he has already queued up a Blink Dagger right off the bat.
Yeah, that's interesting. And already commits the early skill point into Spirit Siphon. The shot block is there, but nothing to cancel that TP. And Yaj, thanks to Gaben for that level 1 TP, will survive.
Yep. Well played by TJ. Those shots were really, really good.
It's not exactly an aggressive tri lane, it's just a boost to the offlaner. Yaj is gonna have the Ogre to help him out, and we're seeing a dual lane at mid. Gyrocopter and Io versus Abed on that Tinker. I guess Execration have realized that, well, you don't want Abed to have a good laning phase, you want to apply pressure early on, and that pretty much seems to be the plan. The only thing is Abed has a better block to work with.
Yeah, but the wave is pushing in towards him now. 2 dire creeps, 2 dire range creeps are attacking. Pile who's drawing some aggro. So they could possibly dive if the Io works by, but looks like Io has other plans. She went to the secret shop to, it went to the secret shop to buy a bottle. Not sure if Io is a he or a she.
Yeah, I mean, no one really knows, but in the name of gender equality and whatever, we'll call it a she or a it, either one.
It's a fundamental.
Okay, a fundamental.
Yeah.
That damn fundamental. Just helping Carl dish out some Harris onto Abed early on. So far, peaceful laning phase. I'm expecting Execration to really go wild around the 10-12 minute mark. This is SEA Dota.
Yep.
It's action packed. No rules, no regards. It's an open brawl for all.
I think we're gonna see a lot more action once the Ursa picks up his Blink Dagger. So then they can just start on Eternal Envy, and there's really nothing that is protecting Eternal Envy from all the damage that's there on the side of Execration. It is a lot of burst damage. If you look at it, they have the Tiny, they have the Gyro, they have the Ursa physical damage, you have Spirits on Io. E is gonna have a hard time surviving early on.
Yeah, a lot of magic damage coming out from the side of Execration, in addition to the Ursa just doing his thing. Yeah, which is why I'm expecting this game to go full bonkers very soon. Raging Potato should do well versus Ohio. If I'm not mistaken, Fury Swipes cannot be dispelled. So the Aquatic Shield doesn't do much. Bottom lane, some tri-lane action. Defensive snowball from DJ just to run away.
Yeah, I think Execration is gonna come out on top in the laning phase. I mean, Ursa, he does really well against the Abaddon in the top lane. So Abaddon cannot really walk up to the creep wave and just right-click creeps. Just gonna be looking to get whatever scrapes Ursa leaves him with. And in the mid lane, Abed destroys the homing missile, so that's nice.
Yeah, don't see that too often.
Yeah, and the dual lane is starting to show its repercussions in the mid lane. Gyrocopter is only level 3 while Abed is level 4.
Yeah.
And they really need this Gyro to get some levels if they want to have any chance at fighting them.
But you want to look at the CS, right? And I'm going to get back to that. Bottom lane, Yards dropping low, has the Avalanche, will get the kill on the DJ, but falls to the Crypt Swarm from EE Sama. And it's a Tusk for a Tiny and an IO. This is not the best of trades for Execration.
Yeah. No, did Fnatic get 2 kills or did they get 1 kill off of that? I think they got 2.
I'm sorry, Execration got 2 kills for sure.
Got 2 kills.
Apologies. Top lane, Ohio dropping low, but it's going to be okay. Let's have a couple of tangos. Creep wave under his tower, a minute away from his shrine, coming active, so he's going to be okay very soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, despite them running a dual lane at main, Abed isn't doing all that bad actually.
Oh, look at Raging Potato. But Ohio is the wiser man, he's gonna back off.
Okay, was Raging Potato trying to move towards the shrine?
No, he was trying to move towards Ohio. He was expecting him to walk up to the creep wave to farm, and if he did, he would have died.
Okay.
Yeah. In the bottom lane?
Yeah, bottom lane seems like we have some action. Yarj tosses back Eternal Enemy under his own tower. The tower doing a fair bit to Eternal Enemy, and with the Avalanche and the Ignite, they're gonna find that kill. Another toss from Yarj. This time it's Lumic on the Ogre. He's giving chase, but he has no mana. Has a stick charge, but it's not gonna be enough. The IO needs to tether onto him and give him a little bit of mana to work with. Yarj still gonna pursue. Has the toss, has the tree grab. DJ in the trees, salving up, surviving for now. Eternal Enemy comes back with the Spirit Siphon. Yarj in no man's land will most likely be punished. Has 10 magic 1 charges, but I don't think this should be enough. Maybe with a bang, with that tether, they might keep Yarj alive. Piladai walks in, ends up dying, and Yarj still alive through all of this, moving faster than usual, courtesy the Bloodlust coming out from Lumic.
And they got this time, Ursa.
Yeah, they got the Ancient Apparition while Ursa solo kills Ohio there.
Yeah, this is not a good matchup for Ohio. Like, there's not much we can do against the Ursa, especially when he's ahead in levels like this. But with that said, he is heading. The shrine is on cooldown for Execration, so he's gonna have some time farming away in the top lane. He's doing okay. He has phase boots for himself. Abaddon, not really the hero who needs a lot of farm to be effective. Just for levels, and he's gonna have an impact throughout the game.
Yeah, but I mean, that's true, but then you would much rather run him as a support possibly. If you only want him to get levels. You want something on the Abaddon that does contribute in terms of team fight. Maybe a Greaves, maybe a Vlads.
He's going for the drums on his Abaddon.
Okay, early drums.
Yeah. And now in the mid lane, Piladai is gonna eat an homing missile to the face for Abed.
Carl going for the max homing missile build. I mean, I understand where he's coming from. Maybe he believes that he can maybe just keep pushing Abed out of the lane. But look at this, DJ's here with the snowball. The shard's not really on point. Eternal Enemies move to the mid lane with the Spirit Siphon. Might just heat a call down and might end up going down. Barely survives. A Bang and Carl end up escaping, but elsewhere a Yarj, who's got the Avalanche and the toss, will get the kill on Abed. Raging Potatoes here as well. He's got the face boots, he's running forward, but the shards keep Piladai alive. DJ with the plays. The homing missile does a fair bit. Yarj is looking for the toss. He now has mana for it with that threat switch, but He's not going to find it. Raging Potato drops an observer, sees Paladai, slams the ground, gets the kill. DJ running towards the shrine. It's supposed to be a safe place, but what can you do when you got an Ursa chasing you down? And Raging Potato nearly brings down the Tusk. Insane. I told you, it's just a couple of minutes until this game goes full bonkers.
Yeah, they're just gonna go ham now. They're not even gonna wait for the Ursa blink. Like with the Ogre match like Bloodlust, you can just run people and start killing them.
I love SEA Dota. It's so action-packed. There's no formalism about it. Everybody just runs at each other.
It's caveman Dota at its finest.
It's
like
caveman Dota. Exactly. It's so much fun to watch.
Yep. I'm not sure what the plan is. He's not getting EXP. He didn't have his level 6, but he still went mid lane. And against the level 6 Gyrocopter who has an IO, I don't think that's a very good idea. I'm not sure what the plan was there.
That's EE, man. Space making guy.
Yep. I guess that's EE for us. Either way. So the Sabadon is doing pretty fine actually, considering the lane he has been. He has 36 CS to his name. Has a few items going his name. Is going to be able to finish the trumps very soon.
I mean, both offlaners are doing well. The only issue is that Raging Potato in the safe lane is just doing a whole lot better than Eternal Envy in his own safe lane. So I mean, that's the major distinction in this laning phase, is that the Ursa's gotten off to a better start than the Death Prophet. If you take a look at net worth, the Gyrocopter's not done too bad in the mid lane. That one death on Abed really early on was quite costly actually. And yes, 7-1, 9 minutes in. Execration with a small but significant lead from the laning phase. The question is, how do they transition this into objectives? That's the only thing really lacking in the lineup. Tower takedown potential. If they got any, it's only the tiny.
I think the plan from the side of Execration is to get Roshan and then take all the tier 1 towers outside. Ursa does have the mask, so if they get a pick off, they can convert that into Roshan and then they can convert that into objective. So I think that's what the game plan should look like for Execration. And they can take down Roshan pretty easily, especially, and they can defend it very well too, given the heroes right now. And Fnatic, there's not much they can do to contest Roshan. I mean, they do have Ancient Apparition and Tinker, but Tinker is super low on farm. So by the time Fnatic comes online, I think Execution will have already.
Oh, Paladai does manage to find out Lumik here. The shard's not perfect, and Yarj sees a moment of opportunity, brings down DJ. Eternal Envy with the exorcism pop should hopefully find one kill here at the very least. They've got the cold feet on Yarj, but Yarj with the toss looking to bring down EE, and Lumik with the stun. Can he get this kill? But Ohio's here. They will manage to bring down Lumik, and they might chase for more, but it looks like they won't. They lose TJ, they commit the exorcism, they get the ogre.
Oh, hold that thought.
Oh, look at this. Yarj, he's got E. Bent in with the avalanche at the toss, still not enough damage. Picks up a tree, tosses it, and he gets the kill. Yarj with the plays.
Style points for Yarj.
Yeah.
So all this while Ursa is doing Roshan. And like I said earlier, there's not much Fnatic can do to contest this early Roshan. You can see Ohio is walking up, does scout it out, but what can Fnatic really do? Exorcism is down, Tinker does not have his boost.
I mean, they can go spam March around the Rosh pit. He does have 4 points in March. Lumik just walking up the slope, being a meatball. The call down is there. Lumik dropping low, will end up falling to the March. And the Aegis has already been claimed. Look at the Ancient Prowler Shaman making life difficult for Abed, forcing him to back away. Meanwhile, mid lane, Eternal Envy with the Spirit Siphon, just pushing back Tal. They got the Aegis. They lost one.
Look at Paladai. He's being chased by the Tiny and Io bottom.
Yeah, Paladai with nothing in his inventory other than a teleport scroll. Now he gets the boots.
Paladai is like the kid in school who always got wedgies.
Why do you say that?
I mean, in this game at least, that's what it looks like to me. He always gets bullied every single time. The position 5 always has to die for his team to get farm, yada yada.
I mean, what's really worrisome here is that Paladai is kind of far away from his level 6. He'd want to hit 6 close sooner. DJ isn't doing too well in terms of levels. I'm actually going to drop down the levels, and if you take a look at the supports on the side of Execration, they've hit level 6 already. There is something about this patch. It's a very clean... I mean, there's a very clear line between support play. If you're not hitting 6 by the 10-11 minute mark, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And I've noticed in more and more games that supports, I mean, when you have a good laning phase, usually your supports hit 6 early as well.
Yeah, I mean, they went around, they had the Tuska and the Apparition, they were looking to get a lot of kills, but that didn't really happen early on for them. I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
they don't have the best level, early level heroes to be fighting. Like, Death Prophet isn't that great at fighting level 1. Early on too, she needs some levels in her Spirit Cipher and Cryptzone to actually do something.
Yarch with his Blink Dagger, searching for Eternal Envy. There's a... Well, no, doesn't find him. Lumic though, has found DJ. Snowball coming out from the Tusk. Quick shield onto the courier. DJ trying to run. Raging Potato right on top of him with the Blink Dagger. DJ with the shards, hoping to survive, will not be able to elsewhere. Relocate right on top of Abed. Yarj does have the toss in a bit. Negative on charge on Abed. They've lost the IO. Yarj goes in, will get the kill onto the Tinker, while Pylai once again will fall. And Eternal Envy somehow manages to find a kill in return onto the Tiny. Ussa trying to stay alive through all of this. He's still got the Aegis, mind you. Slams the ground, doesn't get anything done. Ends up losing the Aegis. Now Lumic wants to keep his score alive, but there's not much he can do. But Raging Potato, quick with the blink, will get away. They lose 2 heroes, they lose a streak, but they do get the Tinker. They're looking to get back in. Raging Potato running in with the Facebooks. Ohio still strong, still healthy, still has the bot at time. And yeah.
Ice Blast?
Ice Blast.
Okay.
Pylai, I think they gave him the Tomb of Experience.
Yeah, he got a Tomb of Knowledge. And all this while Gyrocopter just happily pushes out the mid lane. Forces Abed to get some good structural damage. Now the good thing Fnatic have going for themselves is that they haven't lost their towers. And when you have a Tinker, that is super important, because the more towers you have, the more places he can TP to, and the better he will be able to join fights. So
absolutely.
If Execration don't take these towers early on, once this game hits somewhere around the 24-25 minute mark, where Abed has a lot of farm on his Tinker, probably something like Blink, Ether and components of his axe, or even a full axe, they can very easily take fights and win those fights. Although, with that said...
Hold on. Bottom lane, Ohio. Is borrow time procced? Do they have any further lockdown? Looks like they don't. Sorry, you were saying about us.
Yeah, I was talking about Abed. So, Abed, I mean, there's gonna be a timing where Abed gets his Ether Lens and Blink and yada yada. And since Fnatic have all the tier 1 towers up, they're gonna be able to take fights much more easily with the Tinker. Now, usually what happens is you lose a lot of... Oh, as I say that, looks like Ohio.
Yeah, they lost Ohio. That was just up to his usual antics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sorry, go on.
Yeah. So the Tinker is probably gonna come online somewhere around the 20-minute mark when he has a Blink Dagger and one more item to show for. And I think this game Abed could look to get himself a Scythe of Ice, considering the fact that Fnatic don't have decent lockdown on their sides. So,
okay. So you think Blink, Aether, Scythe of Ice?
Yeah, I think Blink, Aether, Scythe of Ice, and then maybe he can get himself a Bloodstone into a Dagon or whatever he feels right. Although Axe isn't a bad item this game, because you can blind the Ursa from pretty much anywhere. As I say that, Ursa, he's gonna slay DJ in the bottom lane.
I mean, there are so many heroes on the side of Execration who are just going full retard across multiple lanes. Yeah, look at that. One of them being Yarj, finds a solo kill.
I think what Fnatic need to do right now is that they just need to group up, play a little defensively and not lose these tier 1 towers. Now in the mid lane they did lose their tier 1 tower. If they're able to defend the top...
Do you think they could have contested?
I don't think they can contest right now, but they should at least try to...
They did trade. They did get the top tier 1.
Okay, that's good for them, I guess. I mean, they need items on our Tinker.
Yeah, that's not too bad. They've still got a tier 1 bot. It is, like you mentioned, a source for Tinker to join them in the fights, and it seems as if we have a fight break. And oh, immediate smoke being popped by Lumic. This isn't good. This isn't good at all. I mean, Lumic has backup. This could be a fight that Fnatic might not want to take. They're moving on to the low ground. Lumic still giving vision, no detection just yet. DJ with the shards will probably end up going down. Where does he go with that snowball is the question. Well, he goes east and he ends up falling.
Yeah, the smoke was popped by DJ over there, not the Ogre. DJ popped the smoke. And it broke quickly.
Look at this Raging Potato, come on! He's on a mission to just bully Pylai. Blinks past the Abaddon, goes onto the Pilot Eye. Elsewhere I hear an Exorcism. It's for Yaj. They want this Tiny. This is a kill they should get. And he does end up picking up that kill, but back up on the way. Carl with the IO to back him up. They do see an homing missile. The call down committed, but Ohio with the border time doesn't give a damn. They get the kill onto the gyrocopter. They get the IO as well. That was a relocate coming up from a bang in Carl.
Yeah, that was super good for Fnatic. They lose the Ancient Apparition, but they get 3 kills off of that, and 2 of them were cores. So really something Fnatic were looking for now. Have some farm on AE, who's decided to queue up for the Yule Scepter. DJ, Abed has his Blink Dagger now, queued up the Ether Lens next. So overall, very good fight for Fnatic.
I mean, I think that was really unnecessary coming out from a bang in Carl. They got a tier 1, they already had lost the IO. Gyrocopter with, well, a Yasha or a Sanjit Yasha at that time, I'm not really sure, just decided to go in and man up. And ended up getting punished for no reason at all. They were fighting with a man disadvantage. They relocated into the midst of 3-4 heroes.
And they fought into an Exorcism. I mean, that wasn't the best idea from Execration, but it's okay. Doesn't mean it's game over for them by any means. They're still in the lead. And all they need to do is make sure they start 5-manning super soon and take down these towers. Bottom tower has fallen, mid tier 1 has also fallen. I think top lane is going to be the dead lane for this game. Nobody's going to go there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, one team pushes it, the other team pushes it back past the river. I presume that's the status of top lane.
Yeah. And
look at this, Raging Potato, roaming Ursa, Blink Dagger, sees Abed. I mean, knows that Abed is there. Can't really find the skill. They drop an Observer. I think Raging Potato might just look to bring down that tower. No, he's backing up.
It's gonna be slightly hard to do that against the Tinker. They're gonna need more heroes on top if they want to take down the tower. And looks like they might be grouping up for a smoke here on the side of Fnatic. They do have 2 smokes. One is sitting in the inventory of Pilidai, the other in DJ's inventory. And the good thing is Ohio, he's ahead of EE in terms of levels. He's level 15 while EE is
I mean,
level
you
12.
say that's a good thing, that's not a good thing.
No, I mean the good thing for the Abaddon, that is Ohio. It's good
in
for...
the larger scheme of things, it is a good thing. But yeah, you don't want that to be happening too often. Ohio's picked up early pipe. This is going to be particularly good versus all the heavy magic damage coming out from the Gyrocopter and the Tiny. And like you mentioned, Fnatic, they have smoked up. They are on the hunt. It is a long wraparound. The smoke might last them long enough. I think they're going to bump into a bang on the high ground, sees all of them, immediately tries to make a run for it, is trying to stay alive, will not be able to. Eternal Enemy gets a killing spree. They're all deeping out of there, but E with the Yules stops the TP for the Gyrocopter, but Raging Potato does manage to bring down Abed, while Pilidai will bring down the Gyrocopter, and Raging Potato barely blinks away. They get the Tinker, they lose the Gyrocopter and the IO, and the Yule Scepter paying off, but Execration looking to go back in. They have complete vision. Yards now has a Shadow Blade to his name. Ohio needs to be careful. The Exorcism still on for Eternal Envy. They've got the Tinker Ward as well on the side. So if Fnatic do just clump up in the trees, it could backfire.
They are TPing out. They don't want to fight this. Exorcism is down. You don't want to fight when Exorcism is down.
That's spot play coming out, but they see DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna get something, and DJ is the consolation prize. Pilot is still in the trees.
He's gonna watch his friend get slaughtered.
Yeah, just gonna watch his friend get slaughtered in TP. Yeah. It's been such a hard game for both the supports.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna get veggies until, I don't know, the 40-minute mark. That's what Pilot is supposed to do this game. Just scout out all smokes that Execration do, die for them, and hope that Abbott gets enough farm in the meanwhile to carry the game. Okay, so Abbott is gonna go for the Dagon next, apparently. He is not going for the Scythe of Ice like I spoke of earlier. Okay. Who can he burst down with the Dagon? Gyrocopter?
IO for sure.
IO for sure. But I think if they relocate into fights, IO has already kind of done his job. Okay, it's Abed. I'm not going to question his itemization. He does play Tinker often, so he knows what he's doing. And look at Execration there. All of the 4 of them are just grouping up. Looks like they're
Secondary Aegis?
Yeah, secondary Aegis. I think Fnatic pinged it out though. Abed did ping it out. So, yeah, Ohio's gonna scout it out. It's gonna see nothing. Just gonna go back. Meanwhile, Tiny in the top lane has managed to pick himself up a Shadow Blade and has queued up the BKB next. So he's gonna be able to fight the Tinker. If he decides to show up in fights, he could get popped by the Tiny. Now the bad thing is that they have a lot of ways to scout out the Tinker on the side of Execration. They have the Gyrocopter ult, which gives you a lot of vision. And once Gyrocopter hits level 25, I mean it's a long way, but late game, if he goes for the global call down, it's gonna give him vision anywhere on the map, and if that manages to find Abed, that could potentially spell game over for Fnatic.
Oh, look at this. They've got Raging Potato. The Enrage might not even get off because of the silence from the Dead Prophet. And Lumic looking for the TP will make it away, but that's a godlike streak. And now Fnatic can move to Roshan.
Yep.
Execration, 47 seconds without the Ursum. I don't think they can contest this. I mean, they know what's going on.
Yeah, they can't contest this.
The thing is, there isn't a sentry on the floor. Maybe they can look for a Aegis steal, but Yaj goes in, the Avalanche will miss, and DJ with the snowball will push Yaj back. The call down does nothing. Carl just running forward with the rocket barrage, wants to bring down Pilot. I won't get the kill because of the heal coming up from the Abaddon and is forced to back away. Carl in no man's land. DJ possibly looking to chase him down. The shots, they're perfect. Carl trapped in them. Silence, brought down by the laser. Abid gets another kill. Execration throwing away their advantage.
Yeah, that was so bad by Execration.
Oh, and he's jumping on their support now. He's uled up a bang. The Ice Blast is there. And Eternal Envy with the Crypt Swarm will find the kill. They've got Yarj as well. What? What was Yarj doing?
Beautiful Yarj. That was a really good ice shot by DJ.
Oh, and Raging Potato respawns, goes back to his ancients and will die again. What is going on? I mean, look at this. Look at the net worth graph. It's okay. It hasn't updated, but it was nearly a 7,000 lead in favor. Okay, but 1 second. They're still going on at this. Lumic luckily TPs away.
Oh boy. They just gave up so many kills in a span of less than 3 minutes. I mean, they first made the wrong decision of fighting near Roshan when there was no way they could have contested it. They didn't have Ursa. Just can't go for that Roshan when the Ursa is dead. They still go for it anyway, lose their heroes. And then Raging Potato thinks they're gonna continue fighting, but realizes half his teammates are dead, then casually walks up to the Ancient to farm, expecting that Fnatic is probably left. But they haven't, and they kill him too. So, a slew of bad decisions by Execration. This is gonna hurt them significantly because Ursa generally doesn't scale that well in the late game.
Yeah.
But with that said, against this lineup, especially against heroes like Death Prophet, etc., he's super good at bursting them down. And Yarj,
I think Yarj has killed more Ancient Apparition than range creeps. He might get punished though, and that Dagon is paying off. Eternal Envy with the Yules, making sure that he has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
These trades are not worth it. I mean, you're getting an Ancient Apparition, sure, but you're a core and you're giving away too much by getting caught out of position like that.
Yeah, at this point in time, I think you stop going YOLO on Execration, just group up and start finding the supports on the side of Fnatic. I mean, you find the supports, you can go and take the towers very easily. So, I think that's what they should be looking to do. And the Gyrocopter, he has finished up his BKB as well, so these fights should be a lot more easy for him. But as I say,
look at this, Eternal Envy. I mean, pretty much carrying the weight of his team. Finds Lumic, but he's got a Glimmer Cape if I'm not
That was so
mistaken.
good. That was so good for Execration. They lost nothing.
Yeah,
and
they pushed up the Exorcism, but I mean, he's gonna get an objective if he wants one. He's gonna try and take this tier 1 down. He's got the Aegis. It's still not too bad for Fnatic, really.
Not too bad, but they probably wanted more with that. They probably wanted more with that Exorcism. They wanted the tier 2, not the tier 1.
I mean, so EE popped it for an Ogre. What's the best they can get? Ogre plus tier 1? They didn't get Ogre, they got tier 1.
Yeah, I guess he was expecting more heroes to be there because supports like Ogre, they don't generally go out on their own. But Lumic looks like he has other plans. He's teaching Eternal Envy this the ways of Southeast Asia. Teaching him a new meta. Carl, he is level 17 now. Has at level 18 max level call down.
Hasn't been too impactful really on the Gyrocopter.
I guess since they expected the DP to go mid, that's why they put
Hold on. Yaj needs to be careful. Spirit Siphon upon him. The shots, they're perfect from DJ. He's blocked hero after hero. He's controlled Yaj. And status resistance or not, that Ice Blast is gonna hurt. Pilot gets the kill.
Yeah. So I'm not sure.
I think these are key pickoffs for Fnatic, really.
Yeah, these are key pickoffs of Fnatic, but they should try to find the Ursa, I believe. If they find the Ursa, they can immediately just go for tower. Like, they don't have to wait for anything at all. The Gyrocopter and Tiny, they're not in the shape where they can take fights 4v5 right now. Gyrocopter is gonna need a lot more farm and a lot more damage on his side. Speaking of which, he queues up the Butterfly, sitting on 2.8k gold, but this Butterfly is gonna take a while to come. And
yeah, it seems as if Execration have woken up to the fact that, hey guys, we've thrown away our lead. We can't go YOLO anymore. We need to play a little more conservative and wait for Gyrocopter to farm a big item.
Yep, I agree.
That pretty much seems to be the game plan. And just as I say that, Raging Potato TPs to the shrine. Who's he hunting for? Cold Feet upon him, cancelling his Blink Dagger. He's got the Bloodlust movement speed along with haste. Jumps on top of Ohio. Who's got a homing missile upon him as well. Quick heals from EE, trying to buy some time. The silence as well, and it seems as if Fnatic have retreated. Ohio wants to turn Lumic there with the Glimmer Cape. Ohio needs to be careful. Does have the border time, but look at them kite him. The stun is there from Lumic, who's dying and dropping really low to the march. Ohio pops the Crimson Guard, but that's not going to keep him alive. They chase deep and hard, and they find the Abaddon and defend the tier 2 top.
Yeah, they could have probably turned around there. He did have his exorcism, but looks like since the H's expired, they were not looking to get that fight. On top of that, that's also kind of bad fight to take because they're not gonna get any objective after winning that fight. So, good decision making by Fnatic over there to not take that fight and just.
I mean, they could have gone for the tier 2 if they did win that fight, but not sure. Anyway, Execration, they know they have a man advantage and they're immediately gonna smoke. It's the Ursa, the Tiny, and the Ogre. They're moving towards the bottom lane. So, look, I mean, they know where Fnatic are with that scan. The question is, are they going to pursue? Raging Potato wants this.
They should look
He
to
is giving chase. Does have a Blink Dagger. Pops the Enrage. But he's out of there.
Is he going to get spoiled by the ward? No, he makes it. And so good thought process there by Fnatic. Somehow they were aware that Execration is scanned and just go away from there. So speaking of towers, I think most teams don't value the Dire offlane tier 2 tower as much. They value the tier 1 tower pretty highly because that gives you access to this trifecta of jungle camps that is there on the offlane Dire side. Now the thing about the side on Dire, I saw Kezu talk about it on his stream. So thing is that these camps on the side of Dire are much more easier to farm and a lot harder to gank with smoke. If you want to gank these farms with smoke, you have to approach either from the low ground or you have to wrap around. And even if you have to wrap around, there are also a lot of bunch of trees that are present to protect the side of whoever the Dire is from like tanking the
So the tier 1 gives you access to this part of the jungle.
Yeah, the tier 1 gives you access to this part of the jungle. Also there's a shrine over there, so that's kind of hard to contest. And on top of that, you can sit on the high ground and farm the ancients. Now, you can't say the same if you look at the Radiant offlane. The Radiant offlane, all the camps are on the low ground. So every single time the Dire smokes, they're going to be able to get pickoffs in the jungle much more easily. Which is why I've seen a lot of teams, they just, when they're playing Radiant, they just leave this whole Radiant part of the map, the jungle area, and they just go top because that is such a better area to control and get farm on.
I agree. I mean, the only advantage that the Dire has in this patch, I mean, earlier the Dire mid lane was harder to gank because you no more had an access point from this part from the east. But that's been fixed. It's only that Dire have a slight advantage in their jungle. Lumic though, he's got the Glimmer Cape, but I don't think he survives. Quick avalanche toss, a snowball coming in. Yaj pops his BKB. Who are they focusing? Those the question. Yaj caught in the shards with his BKB, controlled with the Walrus Punch. Does manage to toss the Abaddon, but he's taking a whole lot of physical damage from the exorcism and should probably end up going down. Pilot gets the kill. They get the Tiny. They'd like an objective to follow. They didn't get the Ogre. But look at this. EE did see the blink animation from Raging Potato and sees him now from the high ground. You got the Spirit Siphon, but Raging Potato, quick with the face boots, well disjointed. The Yule Scepter from Eternal Envy, buying time for his teammates to arrive, the silence to follow. I don't think Usa will get his enrage off. His BKB is on cooldown and they're chasing him down the shots. Once again, DJ just blocking them left, right and center. And that Walrus Punch will hold him in place long enough for E to bring him down. It was a fight that started in the top lane and ended in the bottom lane.
That's
What is going on?
Oh, and suddenly he has a bunch of farm. Finished up his Scythe of Ice. Speaking of the lack of lockdown, he did decide to go for the Scythe of Ice and not Abed.
Huh, okay.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's not much you can do as Execration at this point right now. You just need to hope that Fnatic, they take a bad fight, overextend, and maybe...
Oh, what? Hold on. Top lane. Abed blinks in, might just end up going down. Carl did pop his BKB, but Abed thought he could blink next to him and do what? I'm not really sure. Carl just cancels his TP and turns around and brings him down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the plan that was there for Abed over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And...
Moment of misjudgment from Abed. But, yeah, Carl now has that butterfly complete.
That's really good for them. They can finally somewhat take these fights, but they need to bring down the Death Prophet first. I think they need to smoke, find either of the cores on the side of Fnatic, and then they can just go and start sieging high ground and knocking on these tier 2 towers. Speaking of which, they are pushing out bot lane.
Oh, Yaj walks past the sentry in the mid lane, drops the avalanche. The shards for once not perfect, but the Spirit Vessel will help bring down Yaj. I do see a relocate coming in, and it's a gyrocopter with the call down, with the butterfly giving chase, forcing Fnatic back to their own base. But fight disjoints oddly, and Abhanga the Wisp is just probably going to go back. Takes the gyrocopter with him. Odd engagement, nothing really happened.
Yeah, and relocate wasted, that's not what they were hoping for. Execration. Wasting key ultimates like this, it really hurts them at this point in the game. And looks like a double damage.
They might finally get Lumic. That elusive ogre who's just been popping Glimmer Cape upon Glimmer Cape and TPing in front of their faces finally goes down.
Oh, this is the third row shot of the game now. He has a refresher shot. They can instantly just go high ground and end the game right after the throw shot if they so wish to.
Do you think Execration should contest? They don't have Ogre. Oh, they go to contest, but the immediate Hex coming out. A bang with the tether, trying to keep Carl alive. Carl pops the BKB, turns to fight, drops the call down. They will get a kill on E. That's Eternal Envy, that for 72 seconds. Well, Raging Potatoes running down after DJ. He's got the Crimson Guard, but will end up falling. And Ohio, all by himself. Can't do too much. Carl, not sure who to pursue. Yaj taking a lot of damage from the Dagon. The missed call, along with that last bit of damage from the Dagon, will bring him down. They lose the Ogre and the IO and the Tiny, but they did get the Death Prophet. The question is, do they feel comfortable moving into the Rosh Pit?
Against
There's an Ice Vortex already there. Yeah, got Tinker in the vicinity.
Yeah, they can't do the Roshan even though they want to. There's too much burst damage from the side of Fnatic right now. Maybe if the IO survived, they could try to do Roshan, but IO didn't, so. But still a good fight for Execration. They prevented Fnatic
I mean,
from
I
getting the
understand Execration's line of thought in that fight. We got E, what's the next best thing we can do? We can get Abed. They went searching for Abed, but Abed did manage to juke his way out of that.
Yeah, he's a ninja on his Tinker. Oh, Abed looks like. What is he trying to do? He's blinking up places, and is he gonna get out in time? Looks like he is.
I think he's okay. Execration do have a couple of deep observer wards. Now, what would be ideal for them is to get a pick off and move into the Rosh Pit, but they don't find anyone there, and they just move into Roshan either way. There's an Invis rune on the ground. Ohio walks in, but Roshan's already been brought down. Carl did pick it up. Who's picked up the refresher shot is the question.
I think
double enrage.
Yeah, double enrage, double abyssal blade, double overpower. I mean, literally the burst damage on Ursa doubles with the refresher shot. And I think that's a better idea to instead of giving it to someone like Gyro. I mean, sure, flag cannon is great and all, but I don't think it's the best idea since they have so much. Since they have a Crimson Guard, actually. I mean, the Crimson Guard blocks a lot of damage from the flag cannon that Ohio has built.
Then, I mean, would you not want the double call down then?
Double
but they
call
have a
down.
pipe as well.
It's not that great. I don't think double cooldown is that important this game.
Okay.
I think they just need to find E, burst him down, and refresh a shard on. Ursa is gonna help them do that.
Okay.
Although speaking of, let's talk a bit about talent. So Ayo, he went for the Tether Grants. It went for the Tether Grant Scepter bonus, and Gyrocopter now has an extra side gunner every single.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, that's really good if you're execution because
Is that an icon for a side gunner on top of him?
no, that's the icon for flak
That's
cannon.
the axe.
No, it's the flak cannon icon.
Okay.
See, it's off now.
Yeah. Okay. I've never seen that icon before.
Yeah, I
3K
think
caster.
they didn't add any sort of patch note for that flak cannon. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just.
I mean, when did that come? I don't remember seeing that.
I think it came last week in an update, but I don't think they mentioned it.
Okay. Where's the side gunner? I mean, right now he's not tethered to him, but
Yeah, the side
Okay.
gunner does not have an icon.
okay, can you physically see it?
Uh,
It's there. It's there. Okay, we'll just take Val's word for it.
Yeah.
Like Diotide was supposed to happen, it will happen.
Yep. Just don't
There
know
is a side gunner. There is a side gunner.
Yeah, can you see it though?
No, I can't. I'm searching for it.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find it. Okay, Gyrocopter decided to go for the 3 homing missile charges. It's actually really good. If he manages to get one on the Tinker, that can disable him for the rest of the fight. And if he gets caught out with that homing missile, he is so dead.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of which, but he has queued up the Scythe of Wise now, so he is going for it. Slight. So I predicted items in the reverse order. He went for the Dagon first and then Scythe of Wise.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he didn't go for the Dagon, they wouldn't have been able to really bring down the Tiny. I mean, I remember him using the Dagon like what 3-4 times to bring down the Tiny. One could argue that well, if you had a Scythe of Wise, you could do the same. But yeah.
No, but yeah, I agree. I think the Dagon was the better pickup this game before the Scythe of Wise. But he does want a Scythe of Wise eventually, and he's gonna go for it now. I think E really needs some armor item right now. He should probably get himself a Shiva's card. Super good against chasing heroes on the side of execration. And DJ asking some of the most fundamental questions in life. What should I buy?
What should I buy?
Okay, so Abaddon, Ohio, he's queued up the Aghanim Scepter next. Huh. So Aghanim Scepter seems like a decent idea against the Gyrocopter because of his flak cannon.
This is the regionals, so they're obviously playing from their respective houses or boot camps, and Eternal Envy only has internet issues.
What talent do you think E goes for at level 25? Exorcism grants haste or more exorcism spirits?
Well, he has a lot of movement speed with the phase, the Yules. Yeah, with the phase and the Yules and the blink, he has mobility.
Yeah, I think he goes for the 8 spirits then.
Yeah. So what's his max movement speed? He has 415 movement speed when he has 473 movement speed when he triggers
I think he
his
can
phase
get.
boots.
I think he can get 500 when he's near Ohio because of the drums aura.
Then do you really want the haste?
I mean, it's still not bad because
It's
you're
actually not bad. Yeah, it is. It is really tempting.
Yeah, but not sure how good of an idea
Knowing
that is.
Eternal Envy, he's gonna go for Exorcism Grants.
Yeah. I mean, the more damage you have, the better it is for you in these fights. And now Execution, they just hit this point where they can't push out any of these lanes just because Tinker's so good at pushing out all lanes and making sure they don't push in. They're just farming away. They don't. Looks like they're lost in the sense of what they're supposed to be doing.
I mean, they're moving from tier 2 to tier 2. They did get the top tier 2.
Yeah.
The mid tier 2's already been taken down. But yeah, approaching high ground isn't going to be exactly linear for them. They probably have to hopefully find a pick off in some manner. Maybe with relocate. I'm not really sure with what. They've got some deep observers. I really like the vision coming out from Execration. Constantly Lumic has been dropping observer wards in these deep spots. It's allowing Raging Potato to really rage. And without all this vision, I don't think Execration would be where they are.
Yeah, but even then, they just need to start finding any of these scores on the side of Fnatic. And Fnatic,
Exactly.
they know that. They're grouping up together. They're not giving away any sort of chance for Execration to get a pick off and make that into an objective. And Aegis is gonna expire for Carl. How long till the next Roshan? Okay. So
Roshan may respawn in 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
I see. So...
But you know, I mean, we're sort of in that place where if either team ends up dying and they don't have buyback, the game could very easily come to an end.
Yeah.
I mean, Fnatic are just one fight away from winning, provided that EE survives that fight.
Yeah, but...
That's all they need.
Yeah, but the problem is... The problem is they can't really venture out for these fights because chances are they don't know where Execration's wards are right now, so they're just waiting for Execration to come high ground. It's like a game of cat and mouse. Neither team wants to be at the disadvantage, so they just continue farming, and one team continues farming, one team continues totaling.
Yeah, I mean, what both teams would like to do is get vision around Roshan really soon.
Yeah.
Get as many D wards as possible, get observers in that area, because the next point of contest for both teams is going to be Roshan.
Looks like Fnatic are looking to smoke here. Yep, they do. And they see Yard stop, so this is a good idea. This fight is going to be a 5v4 for them. Speaking of
But
which,
it's also possible that a bang on the IO might just break that smoke. His invis is timing out.
Helicopter has a
Lee
DD.
walking up high ground. Carl hexed up. Eternal enemy pops the exorcism. Doesn't hesitate, but the relocate from a bang. Keeping Carl alive. IO with the plays when needed, and Raging Potatoes here. They're looking to turn this around on the side of Execration. Lumic walking in with the Glimmer Cape. It's only a bang for starters. You got the stun, you got the call down. Carl just running in. They want to bring down Ohio, but in early enemy with the Spirit Siphon moves on the Yarj. Yarj pops his BKB, tries to clobber down EE. The shots are there, they're good. Another Hex coming up from a bit. This time around onto Raging Potato, they'll bring him down, and with the laser they'll get Lumic as well. More hexes further down. Abed catches IO, brings him down as well. It's the Abed show round and round, and Carl, the only one alive, running back to base. 4 heroes down, and a lot of hexes used in that fight from Abed.
yeah. The Gyrocopter, he was afraid of going into the fight, and part of it was because Fnatic split up the fight so well. On one side, they had Raging Potato trying to bring down the Abaddon, but you're not going to bring down an Abaddon with a Heaven's Albert and a Crimson Guard. It's just not going to happen as an Ursa.
Yeah.
So I think that was partly the Ursa's fault for going on Abaddon, and looks like this is just going to be game. Fnatic, they skip barracks, they just go straight for tier 4s. Don't have Exorcism, but...
They're just hitting away. They've got all the sustain they need from Ohio. They've still got a Crimson Guard. They've still got a Pipe. They've got Abid punching away with 170 base damage. They're doing this. It's dirty, but it's effective. Carl just pops the call down. Goes in YOLO, pops his DKB. DJ with the Ghost Scepter staying alive. Flak Cannon doing a whole lot. EE pops the cheese. Hex coming out with the Glimmer Cape from Lumic will keep the Gyrocopter alive. Secondary Hex coming out from Abed, and this time with the wall response, he'll get the kill. They move on to the Ogre. Buybacks coming out from Carl. He wants to fight, but he doesn't have Lumic or the Ogre to back him up. And Abed just TPs on their face. The throne exposed. And a buyback from Carl will keep the throne alive for the time being. Fnatic, they could have taken 2 lanes of racks, but they've taken tier 4s instead. They feel pretty confident that Raging Potato on the hunt. Finds EE with the Abyssal, couple of 4 stars keep him alive. Carl coming in as well. Ohio pops the bottle time. Raging Potato moves on to the task. DJ with the Ghost Scepter will survive. Raging Potato pops his Abyssal, pops the Refresher Shard, blinks ahead once more, doesn't find anyone, and they do manage to somehow find Ohio.
Okay.
Odd engagement, but they find Ohio, and now they are marching down mid.
Yeah, I don't think Execration had an idea of what to do. What happened?
Sorry. It's not what you said, it's the subtext in your voice about what you said.
Yeah, I mean, execration, they're running around like they have nothing to do. Just like cavemen without women. Who are you gonna beat on the head with a club if there is nobody to beat?
There's no one there. Yeah, Abid's done a fine job of being bloody elusive.
Yeah,
and
he's
look
a
at him,
ninja
right now. He's preparing for. No, not a solo kill. But yeah, Roshan will respawn in 40 seconds. And that's gonna be the huge point of contest between both these sides. I mean, even if Execration somehow just managed to win the fight at Roshan, they could very well just take the game. I'm dropping buyback status. Both Abed as well as Dead Prophet do have buyback. So if in case, for some reason, Fnatic do end up losing a fight, it's not the end of the world for them.
Yeah, but all this while, Gyrocopter has been farming away. He has a lot of farm to show for, and soon he's going to be replacing Sanj and Yasha with some other damage dealing item. I think it's probably going to be a rapier at this point because you really need that damage if you're Gyrocopter.
Do you think Satanic?
Satanic is also a decent idea, but you're getting Hex so much, I don't think you're going to be able to make use of the Satanic. You would much rather go all in on the Divine and bring them down while your BKB is still up.
Okay.
As for Fnatic, I don't think any item they really get makes the team fight a million times stronger.
For Fnatic?
Yeah, for Fnatic, there's. He is going for the Heart of Taras.
What can. Yeah, I think that's kind of helpful. It's not like a BKB would save him a whole lot. And yeah, how can a BKB save you when the Abyssal Blades? Raging Potato running in. Call down, not doing too much. Ohio manning up with the Crimson Guard. Feels strong. Quick wall this punch onto the Usa, who's hexed up, being controlled, being brought down with the Split Siphon will fall. They've lost IO as well, and they lose the arch to the Dagon from Abed. The laser, the rockets. Abed finds another, and Execration have tapped out in game 1. Fnatic. Woo! What a game.
What a game.
I think that was all Abed.
Yeah, I think that was Avid and Ohio. Ohio played so well. Every single time someone got initiated on, instant effortic shield, preventing the burst damage to come through from Execration.
Anyway, folks, this is a best of 3. We'll be back with game 2 in a bit. For now, we have a small little something for you. This is Vivek and Floki from AFK Gaming. See you for game 2.
Born in the country of Ghost, Curry, Gauss, and Crusader level Dota, 4 boys fought to become the best Curry casters in all of SEA. Having gone through a rigorous regimen of Bollywood dancing. And ancient Eastern vocal exercises.
Hello sir, welcome to technical support. How may I help you?
Hey, my coffee holder's broken.
I beg pardon sir?
You know you push that button on the computer and the coffee holder comes out?
Sir, no one has ever done that. No one has ever done that in the history of Dota.
They do play-by-play.
Splinter Blast from Fly, rolling bullet coming in from Jerax, he drops the Magnetize, has the urn, you got the Arctic Burn coming out from Fly, Geomagnetic Grip coming through from Jerax, Boulder Smash to follow, they bring down Chessie, and
They do SEA.
Magandang gabi, Luke! Magandang gabi! Let's see! Gago! Gago, this is Gaga! Ulol! You cannot spell Ulol without you!
Loki, Vivek, Gambit, and CloudX are back! Back to back! Only at AFK Gaming!
Fire makes the city look so bright. Close your eyes and just stay tight. We have to go. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me.
Okay, folks, looks like the game is live. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to be jumping soon into game 2 between Fnatic and Execration. This is obviously an Indian broadcast, and we must, of course, we must pay homage to our Indianness, and there you go.
Cast, Curry, Gauss, and Crusader level Dota. 4 boys fought to become the best Curry casters in all of SEA. Having gone through a rigorous regimen of Bollywood dancing. And ancient Eastern vocal exercises.
Hello sir, welcome to technical support. How may I help you?
Hey, my coffee holder's broken.
I beg pardon sir?
You know you push that button on the computer and the coffee holder comes out?
Sir, no one has ever done that. No one has ever done that in the history of Dota.
They do play-by-play.
Splinter blast from Fly, rolling bowler coming in from Jerax, he drops the magnetize, has the urn, you got the Arctic burn coming out from Fly, geomagnetic grip coming through from Jerax, boulder smash to follow, they bring down Chessie, and
They do SEA.
Magandang gabi, Lu!
Magandang gabi!
Let's
Gago!
God, Gago, this is Gaga!
Ulol!
You cannot spell Ulol without you!
Loki, Bewake, Gambit, and Cloud X are back. Back to back. Only at AFK Gaming.
Okay, looks like my Dota crashed. I don't think my Dota crashed, but I'm trying to connect to the game and it's not connecting. So I'm quickly gonna restart Dota. Floki, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. What's up?
Are you in the game?
No, I can't. I'm loading. It hasn't yet gone into the game.
It hasn't loaded for me either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, typically, like, the lobby's just up and Dota doesn't know what to do in this awkward moment when the game is still loading, but it has to account for delay. So hopefully.
Vivek,
Yes.
what's 2 plus 2?
Tayo mag-otso, otso, otso, otso.
I was hoping you would be Big Shaq, but never mind. Looks like C has gotten to your head, and it's in your blood now. See, every time I ask you what's 2 plus so, you won't respond with quick maths. You're gonna respond with otso, otso.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was. Have you loaded?
Nope, not yet. Have you?
Yeah, I have.
I just did.
Okay. What do you think stood out for you in game one, other than the fact that people just went full retard?
I think what stood out was that execution is kind of like complexity always throws away the advantage they have by making crappy moves. They just need to play a lot more discipline in Dota, and I think that goes for almost every team that plays in Southeast Asia, except for maybe Fnatic.
It was just mainly that one fight around Roshan where they kind of threw away their advantage.
Yeah, and Raging Potato, he just added to that by TPing into the tier 2 tower and walking to hit ancients. I mean, you shouldn't really do that. I think he saw.
Yeah, Execration are going to be pissed off with themselves. They know that they were really. I mean, they had a lead. They know that they had a lead and they didn't make the most of it.
Yeah. So, once again, standard set of bans. Omni Knight banned out by Execration. Puck left untouched. Even though Execration always tends to ban puck against teams that do play it, Fnatic does not seem like the team who likes picking up the puck. They always seem to give Ohio these really tanky defensive strength goes. Beastmaster, Brewmaster, Underlord, yeah. They don't like him to play all those new heavy flashy heroes. They give him the good old reliable ones. So right off the bat, same old set of bans, Night Stalker and Omni Knight. Do you think DJ's Tusk is gonna be banned this game? Or at least picked up? Yep.
Wow. Fnatic landed it out themselves.
Yeah, they were like, DJ man, you're too damn good on this Tusk. We can't let you win like this. I mean, I know we want to win this game, but dude, you gotta take it easy, man. Execution are gonna kill themselves after this game.
I think we might see something like Nyx.
Yeah, I think Nyx is a good idea. First phase pick. He can go anywhere you want him to. Help out any lane, and he can always be useful once he hits level 6. Okay, but Queen of Pain is gonna get banned super early in the draft by Fnatic. Okay. Huh. That's interesting.
It's unusual. You don't see Queen getting banned out so early on.
Unless it's an Arbit Shadow Fiend first phase? I mean, I don't know. They're not gonna pick up Shadow Fiend this early on, but...
For Fnatic?
Yeah, for Fnatic. And they go with the Shadow Shaman themselves, so...
Okay. I think we might see Pylida and the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, that's definitely a Pylida Shadow Shaman. Could also be a DJ Shadow Shaman. I mean, he can be played as a foe in some games. He can really make use of the levels, and his Mass Serpent wards are... Well, like once they hit level 8, level 3, they're super good at taking down structures. Especially with an Aghanim Scepter, they can just instantly take down a set of racks. And Execration responds with the puck, okay. And the Jakiro, so they prioritize another set of heroes this game. They're gonna go with the Jakiro. They aren't big fans of the Ayo / Ogre they picked up last game.
Think we might see a Clockwork for Fnatic?
Yeah, Clockwork is decent, but I think they pick it in the second phase. I don't think they first phase the Clockwork. Like Clockwork, he can go either way, right? Because if you get cores that have fairly mobile, like then that Clockwork is just kind of useless. And yeah, they're gonna go with the Nyx instead. Nyx is gonna be much more useful against the puck and a Jakiro. So the thing about Jakiro is he's really good against Shadow Shaman because Ice Path is such a long range disable. The Shadow Shaman is never really going to be able to get good shackles off if Jakiro is in the vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of that, he's also kind of bad against the Nyx Assassin because he can just walk into Macropyre and instantly stun Jakiro. Or walk into something like an Ice Path, this Carapace on and stun the Jakiro.
Mm-hmm. Nyx is also somewhat good against Puck. If the Puck is being lazy and orbs and Nyx just walks into the orb and Puck doesn't phase shift, then Puck ends up getting stunned.
I agree. Also, the
So
mana
I,
burn.
it at least it might, if nothing else, it might at least force out phase shift or get Puck to be held in place with a Spike Carapace.
And Execution are gonna ban the Abbot Invoker. That's rather early on in the draft. I don't think they should be prioritizing Invokers so heavily. I think it's really bad this match.
I think we might see Clockwork getting banned here.
Yeah.
Then you sort of limit the kind of options that Execration have for the 4 position.
I agree. Clockwork is really good against Nyx Assassin and Shadow Shaman both. I mean, you can hookshot from long range onto the Nyx and then suddenly there's nothing he can do to even when you're down a Nyx in a generally Nyx lineups, they rely quite heavily on the Nyx to land impales and everything. And if you take the Nyx out so early on, it's gonna be really helpful for Execration.
I don't really understand the Lycan ban though. I mean,
Lycan has over 55% win rate in the 5k plus bracket in ranked Dota since the last week. I've seen a lot of people play Lycan. I'm not sure why. I guess partly because of the health regen changes. I mean, you almost never have to go back to base if you build a Necronomicon and max out Feral Impulse because Necronomicon now gives you mana regen. And on top of that, Lycan's third skill gives you some health regen, so you can just forever stay in the jungle, keep farming as long as you have some decent map control. And when the time is right, you can go and push. Also, Lycan... Okay, no wait, Fnatic have banned out the Lycan, yeah. So... Clockwork,
and that's a Clockwork pickup.
Yeah, you were right about that. I mean, really good against both these supports. Interesting to see what...
I mean, there aren't too many options, right? What other 4 position hero is there? You could do something like Slada, Sand King, maybe do a 4 position Rubik if you play it.
And now Fnatic have kind of shot themselves in the foot because not a lot of mid laners who have decent mobility or ways to escape cogs are remaining. I mean, the only real mid laners that can somewhat escape cogs are those who build Force Staffs and Hurricane Pikes. And one hero that comes to mind maybe is the Shadow Fiend. The other hero, though, which they could maybe pick up is the Phantom Lancer that comes to my mind because Phantom Lancer is something that they have been giving up at very often. And Phantom Lancer is actually pretty decent against the Clockwork and the Jakiro, I guess. I mean, although the burst damage is there to clear out his illusions, if they don't follow that up with a decent Phantom Lancer counter, I do see Fnatic picking it up in the 4th phase.
Do you think SF Clockwork might be a possibility?
For Execration? I think it's gonna depend on what Fnatic pick over here. If SF is good against this, then they'll pick it up. And Doom is picked up, so... Okay. This is gonna be an Ohio Doom, most likely. Or it might even be an Eternal Envy Doom. I've seen E play Doom a lot in the safe lane. So I'm gonna go under the assumption that it's... Okay, Shadow Fiend does get picked up by Execration. Nice call there, Vivek. So...
Why Doom, though? I mean... The reasoning for Shadow Fiend is quite simple, right? Clockwork drops cogs early on, you get souls. I mean, something works over there. Puck is flexible, you can send her to the off lane. But why Doom? I mean, how does Doom...
Doom is also...
Did Fnatic know that Execration were looking at the Shadow Fiend and they picked up the Doom? Otherwise, what? Have you really seen EE go safe lane Doom? Is that a pub thing or a pro match thing?
I think that's kind of both because I've seen a lot of Russian teams also used to play, and TA gets picked up by Fnatic. Okay, so TA decent against the Shadow Fiend, but I'm a little concerned about how she's gonna do against the Clockwork. I think the Puck is most likely offlane. I mean, that's what makes more sense to me. He's not gonna be support. You're not crit. You're not gonna play Puck in the position 4 role. So I'm slightly concerned about the early game that this Templar Assassin has. Now, speaking of the Doom, you asked me about the Doom, and Doom is very often played in the safe lane. Now, I would not like to see Doom going offlane because he is kind of bad at dealing with Jakiro. I mean, you sure you have Scorched Earth and everything, but at level 1, if he goes Scorched Earth, I mean, once you pop it, there's really nothing you can do. You'll just keep on eating harass from Jakiro, who has really strong right click, and yeah, there's not much you can do to stand the lane and get EXP. So I think this is a safe lane Doom. I think that makes a lot more sense because he's one of the few heroes that, if left alone against the puck, he can do fairly well because he can just devour a satyr, large satyr creep, get some health regen, and then the scorched earth is gonna kick in too. Also, the fact that he's tanky really helps him prevent being bursted down from someone like Puck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, TA is really good against all the heroes Execration has. The only problem is TA's early game might be kind of bad. I mean, TA really good against the Puck.
Jakiro.
Yeah, really good. I mean, Jakiro, yeah, he can take down refraction charges very easily with his liquid fire. So Abed is gonna need a BKB this game by all means. But if they do decide to go Deso first on the TA, the possibility of taking Roshan opens. And if they get Roshan and a decent early lead, they can just take up all tier 1 towers and control the map. And once you start doing that against Execration, they are really out of options. They have to take a fight because they don't have
Look at Execration, such an eternal envy ban.
Yeah, that is. I think Doom is gonna go offline, but I think this might be just EE messing with them. EE always picks this kind of heroes who are flexible in the role, and every single time, like last game too, he picked up the Death Prophet, which I think Execration thought was gonna be mid, but it instead went safe lane. So I think now it's EE messing with them, thinking that this is an offlane Doom, but don't think that's the case here. So what EE hero comes to mind that is good against the lineup of Execration? Weaver is bad over here. Maybe you go for Dragon Knight? I am not sure.
Do you want Gyrocopter?
Gyro is okay, but he's really bad against the Clockwork once he has a Blade Mail too. Like he can just catch the clock.
Why not Lifestealer?
They don't have a vehicle for Lifestealer.
Nix.
Not
reliable.
Not really reliable, and Clockwork is really good against Lifestealer. He can just cog him in and have the Shadow Fiend fire away at the Lifestealer. Also, the fact that you have a Jakiro means that Lifestealer can't fight as soon as his rage is down. He can't keep chasing because Liquid Fire and Breathe Fire are super good against Lifestealer. And Monkey King is gonna be the pickup. Looks like this is gonna be an EE Monkey King. And the Doom is indeed gonna go offline. Huh. I think this might be an aggressive try lane. I don't think they want to put Doom in the offlane. Unless they expect the Clockwork or Jakiro to be mid 24/7 and make Abed's life hell.
I agree. I like the idea of an aggressive try lane. Fnatic does have a decent aggressive try.
Yeah, Monkey King. It all depends on what picks right now. If Stealer. Huh.
Okay.
So life.
Floki, I can't hear you. I have lost you, Floki. And I'm just going to assume that Floki is gone. And we will continue with the broadcast.
Seconds remaining.
Okay. So yeah, we're looking at Execration picking up the safe lane Lifestealer. Makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of things that can take him in the battle. The Puck, the Clockwork. It's good. Is Lifestealer going to be able to deal with heroes like the Monkey King and the Templar Assassin? Maybe if he gets right on top of them. But if the Wukong's command has been dropped, if you're seeing the Monkey King with that extra bit of armor fighting in that Wukong's command, I don't think Execration would really be looking to pick up that fight there. But yeah, for those of you just tuning in, this is Star Ladder I-League Invitational Minor. We've got Fnatic facing off versus Execration in a best of 3. This is Well, these are the SCA regional qualifiers. My name is Vivek. With me was Floki. We're from AFK Gaming, but we lost Floki for the time being. But yeah, I'm going to quickly run through the lineup. Fnatic are leading this best of 3 1-0. The earlier game of the day was supposed to be TNC versus Alpha Red, but Alpha Red have to play WESG. So because of scheduling conflicts, they just gave TNC a bye. Yeah, a lot of scheduling conflicts actually in the SEA region. You've got ESL Katowice also coming up. You got WESG going on. You got GESC, which is, I think they're skipping the Southeast Asia qualifiers. They're inviting teams only for the Southeast Asia region. Strange stuff indeed. But what's not so strange is Carl getting a couple of souls early on from the Clockwork. But yeah, on the side of Execration, you got Lumic, who's going to be playing the Jakiro. Was phenomenal on the Ogre in the previous game. Raging Potato going to be playing that Lifestealer. Carl going to be playing the Shadow Fiend. He did go to the safe lane. No, he went mid on the Gyrocopter last time around. Clockwork going to be handled by a Bang. Yarge heading to the off lane with the Puck. On the other side of the river, you've got Eternal Envy cosplaying for the moment. Going to be playing that Monkey King. Arbit going to the mid lane with the Templar Assassin. DJ going to be playing the Shadow Shaman. Can we take a look at DJ? There he is. Cool set. Doom going to be played by Pylai. And Ohio heading to the off lane on the Nyx Assassin. Classic dual lane at mid. Jakiro gonna help out the Shadow Fiend. I mean, I'm not sure if Carl needs too much help. Lumic sees the dual lane and ditches it. I think Carl is gonna be okay. So I think the reasoning from Lumic is that I really don't need to help out Carl. Carl's got souls, and maybe if I just hang around mid, the worst that I'm going to do is just probably leech EXP. I've been just messing with the creep wave and messing up with Abid as well. Quick dot in all chat coming up from Abid. But yeah, it is an aggressive trialing coming out from Fnatic. I thought that the Nyx would be a part of this, but it's the Shadow Shaman, the Doom, and the Monkey King. It is a core Nyx and not a core Doom. Pylai does have a lot of armor, but he is taking a lot of damage. Eternal Enemy with the Chingu Mastery just pushing out Raging Potato. And forcing them to use their early regen. It looks as if Execration are doing a lane swap. Raging Potato moves to the top lane. Doesn't want to deal with this aggressive trialing coming out from Fnatic. Yep, I mean, one thing that did work in Execration's favor earlier on in game 1 was that they had a good start in terms of lanes. They got Raging Potato a good matchup. It was Ursa versus Abaddon, and they want to give Raging Potato a good matchup again. Ohio with the Impale might stay alive. He's got that high regen along with those mangoes to help him out. But yeah, Eternal Enemy farming uncontested. They haven't yet swapped the lanes. Yarch is still hanging around. And presume he's going to be moving towards the bottom lane soon enough. Yep, he's gone to the bottom lane. DJ with the shackles. Eternal Enemy does have the Boundless Strike now, so they could get this kill. Looks like they don't need it. Lumic out of position will end up being punished, and the Boundless Strike committed for Yarj, but he sort of misread his movements there and doesn't end up getting the kill. How's the mid lane matchup looking? Shadow Fiend doing phenomenally well as expected. Comes to lane with a boost and has 22 denies to his name. I mean, it seems as if Fnatic have pretty much just sacked Abid in this mid lane. They focus attention on trying to win one lane, and that's going to be this tri lane coming out from them. A bang with the cogs, he's got to be a bit careful. But yeah, I mean, that's the problem of running an aggressive try. You want to contest the enemy safe laner. When there's no safe laner to contest, do you really want to spend your resources making life difficult for a puck? Or would you much rather help out your mid laner who's really having a shit time in the mid lane? A bang. He's hit level 2. Realizes that there's not much he can do to really kind of help out the puck. He'd much rather spend his time trying to shut down another lane. How's top lane looking? Nyx is not doing too bad in terms of CS. He's keeping up with the lifestealer, which is only good news for Fnatic. You'd sort of wish that the lifestealer would do a little better. Bottom lane, you got the silence coming out, the waning rift, but the shackles are there from DJ. It's only a level 1 waning rift, and with the ether shock, they're gonna get the kill. A bang, TP's in, drops the cogs. There's not much he can do really. And watches his off laner down. But he's realized that he's lost the mid lane. But yeah, he's gonna fall back into the jungle, try and catch up. Aquila, couple of points in reflection. Okay, welcome back.
Sorry guys, Indian internet at its finest. Running out when you need it the most. So what has happened since I've been gone? Okay, looks like Fnatic picked up 2 kills. They did run an aggressive lane.
Yeah, they were running an aggressive tri lane, but Lifestealer swapped. Shadow Fiend is winning mid and how. Abed is just fallen back into the jungle.
Oh
and
my
Yaj
God.
on the puck did die once.
So they did switch things up. It wasn't the way I expected it. The way I expected it to be.
Oh
They
yeah,
ran the
it's a
Doom
core
and
Nyx.
support. Yeah, core Nyx. So I've seen Chinese people do it. Like I've seen like Chinese teams do it a lot better than any of these Southeast Asian teams. They run the Doom on the position 4 and they just do it so well. Like every single time the Doom goes anywhere on the map, there's just kills happening left, right, and center. And yeah, like we talked about, looks like Abed, he did get completely destroyed, I guess, by the Clockwork or someone who was mid for a while.
No, just the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend won his lane pretty much.
Oh, I see. Oh wow, Shadow Fiend winning a lane against here. That's unheard of.
I guess a lot of it had to do with the souls that Carl got, thanks to the Clockwork. Look at this. Abid went back into jungle, came back with boots, and applies a fair bit of pressure onto the SF in the mid lane.
Aving casually using battery assault.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about though.
I think they were trying to kill TA, but the creep walked up to the high ground.
Okay.
And looks like last hits. EE is in the. He is on second in terms of last hits. Has decent farm for himself. Finished up the treads, the wand. Think he's probably gonna go for a Battle Fury this game. I would like to see the Battle Fury on him. Although considering that Avid is usually the farming core, he may not get it and might just go in directly into a Shadow Blade or an Echo Saber.
Bottom lane, Boundless Strike. Set up for the Hex, set up for the Shackles, and with the Jingo Mastery stacks, they will get the kill.
Yeah.
Top lane, Lifestealer, Infested Ohio, waiting with the Mana Burn, Pilot Dive with the Scorched Earth, but Raging Potato just life steals through all that HP.
Yeah. Raging Potato is gonna be fine in this top lane. He has 2 points in Feast. He's gonna get his HP back up soon enough. So...
hold on, Floppy. Some folks are complaining about lag. I'm not getting any drop frames here, so I'm pretty sure there isn't any. That's what I'd like to believe. I'm taking a look at my internet connection every now and then, and the upload speeds and everything is fine. There was a little bit of drop frames earlier on, but now things are okay. A bang on the bottom lane though. Eternal Enemy. Just doing Eternal Enemy things. Drops the Boundless Strike, gets the hell out of there.
Yeah. They can't do much to shut down the Sea Monkey King right now. I think they should just look to go mid and try making some play on Abed.
Yeah, I mean,
casually
the
farming.
Monkey King is absolutely okay. Top lane seems like we have a little bit of a brawl breaking out. Ohio does have the Impale coming off cooldown in a bit. Lumic with the Ice Spot just to hold back Ohio. But Ohio triggers the Spike Carapace. Does have the Impale, wants the kill onto Lumic, gets the Impale. Jakiro needs to be careful. Infernal Blade coming up from Paletta. Lumic dropping low, drops the dual breath. But Ohio with the Vendetta will survive, and Raging Potato, it's going to be a little disappointed that he didn't find a kill in exchange there.
Yeah. Well played by Ohio there. He knew exactly that Raging Potato was going to go on him, and he used Sator's Vendetta for that. So he's going to be able to escape without a scratch on his body. And now bottom lane.
Bottom lane, yeah, Coil coming in. Carl is there. Carl wants his kill on a E. E snaps the coil, will get punished, falls to the orb.
DJ is hit level 6 though.
Yeah,
It's a very early level 6 for the Shadow Shaman.
this is a really good timing for him. Primarily because they ran a dual lane. Pilot I sort of moved up early, and DJ was involved in 2 kills.
Yeah.
So he's got all that EXP to show for it. But yeah, we're reaching the 10-minute mark. This is when everybody, all the pro teams in SEA start losing their inhibitions and start going full caveman. And yeah, already it seems as if Execution want to push for tier 1, but on the side Clockwork caught in the boundless strike. The Impale is there, and DJ with the shackles.
He's gonna pick up the kill on Arbang.
I
Think they can push the bottom lane now that they have the Serpent Wards. Shadow Fiend, he's in the jungle and he's probably gonna go back mid, so there's not much holding them back from taking this tier 1 bottom.
Yeah, Pilot is also gonna hit 6. I mean, Fnatic have gotten off to a really good start.
Yeah,
In terms of EXP at the least.
yeah, this is such a greedy lineup by Fnatic, but it's working out for them, man.
Ohio, bottom lane. Beautifully done.
Mid lane,
Okay,
Okay,
looks like
getting
we have a little
gone
bit of action there as well. Beng is chasing Arbed. They won the kill on the T. He pops the Mel. He has nowhere to go, blocked by his own illusions. But Pilota is here. Finds a kill onto one, drops the Doom onto the other. The deny is
but
there
the
from Carl, and the
deny.
Impale will miss from Ohio. And Carl does end up surviving. Has a lot of one charges.
yeah. So well played there by Carl. He waited perfectly. He made it look like he was gonna go on the next assassin, but he instead just turns
Hold
around
on,
and denies.
bottom lane, Raging Potato. He's got the puck to back him up. Eternal Enemy drops the Wukong's command, the Waning Rift, not in time. EE trying to survive. The Boundless Strike kills off the puck, and the shackles are there onto the Lifestealer. EE turning it around, gets a double kill, and they get a tower. Beautifully done there.
I see. So slight miscoordination there by Execration. They didn't go in. I mean, they did try to kill the Monkey King, but DJ was just there, and his quick reactions made sure he survives and gets off his Wukong's command. Now Abed, he's nearing his Desolator, after which they should be looking to take Roshan, but if not Roshan, at least try to take all the tier 1 towers, and then maybe head for Roshan. Pilot Eye.
It's not done so bad considering the start he had in his lanes.
I think he had a few stacks for himself. He was always stacking the ancient camps and farming them. And so one thing I noticed, Abed never stacked the ancient camp more than twice. Every single time he stacked it twice, he took it up, and he didn't, he didn't go full retard.
Didn't go for beyond the double stack.
Yeah, because it's very likely that Execution tried to contest that stack, and if you get 2 Prowlers, it gets really hard to take the stack as a Templar Assassin, because the health regen kicks in. Now the Shadow Fiend, they're looking to... he already has
Hold
a
on,
Yule Scepter.
bottom lane, Yarj in no man's land. The Impale's not there. They've got the Boundless Strike. They're playing with this puck, and they're gonna get the kill. It's a killing spree for EE.
And the Shadow Fiend, he's not gonna go for the typical right-click build either. He's gonna go for the Yule's build, and he's already picked up the Yules. That is really, really early in the game.
So, I've just looked at pros and cons. Pros, Monkey King has a lot of armor, so magic damage could sound like a good idea versus him.
I think it's also because he can like just use the Shadow Shaman and then just go ham on him.
Okay.
Although I'm a little concerned. I mean, this Yule's build doesn't do very well against heroes like Nyx. They punish you for having more mana, and that means the mana burn is going to deal a lot more damage to this Shadow Fiend. And since the item he built purely gives him intelligence, he's gonna eat more magic damage from the mana burn, and like that's gonna hurt him because use doesn't give you HP, it only gives you intelligence. So the mana burn is gonna be that much more effective against him. TA on the other hand, almost gonna finish the Desolator up. He has so many stacks for himself, Abed. This is one independent mid laner who needs no support.
Yeah. I mean, if you notice Fnatic's approach to drafting in game 1 as well as game 2, EE almost always doesn't last pick mid. He last picks for himself. I'm going to get back to that later. Yaj walks into a trap and ends up falling. Execration are going to be a little pissed off with themselves. They'd be hoping to have more vision across the map, which should prevent such deaths from taking place. But yeah, EE almost always last picks for himself. I mean, he didn't last pick the TA. His second last pick was the TA. And that's not... Okay, look at this. A bang with the hook shot, setting up for the life stealer. That's a killing spree. That's a lot of gold, mind you. And the Ice Path's caught Ohio. The Spike Carapace will allow him to TP. But the Battery Assault right in the nick of time. They've caught him in the cogs. There's that mana burn you spoke of. But they do end up getting 2 quick kills. A core and a support. While he is cutting the creep wave.
DJ just panic dropped the words over there.
I think he's looking for a ward trap of sorts.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he got it.
He didn't get it. I think he got it, but like Lifestealer just hit one serpent twice and then he was able to get out of there. Good thing for Execration, they do have the better
Hold on, EE, there's that Yule Scepter. Carl hesitated and that's gonna allow EE to just jump up and down and get the hell out of them.
So, but the good thing is that Carl is really farmed on a Shadow Fiend. He's gonna complete his blink very soon.
You know who's really farmed? Pilot, right?
Yeah, he's finished up a Midas for himself, looking to finish the urn too. Oh boy, this Doom is gonna get scary as the game progresses, and
yeah,
game mid lane.
Yeah, mid lane seems like we have a little bit of action breaking out. SF in no man's land. Brought down, walked up the river into the enemy side of the map and got punished.
Yep. And mana burn, like we spoke of earlier, that quite the number on Shadow Fiend, allowing them to burst him down quicker. Oh, Abed finds a double damage rune. Are they gonna go for Roshan? Looks like he's just gonna take the tier 1 and maybe then look for Roshan.
Yeah. I presume the supports will try and get vision back around Roshan until then.
Yeah.
If Roshan is the play, because there is a Radiant Observer here that's seeing all of this. And
I think he's debating whether he wants to place the wards mid or not. Looks like the answer is gonna be no for now. What does Fnatic's vision look like right now?
What does Fnatic's vision look like? One second, just toggling Fnatic's vision. There you go. Couple of deep observer wards, one ward on their own half of the map, and they've got a Nyx Assassin moving across the map every now and then. I'm a bit surprised that they didn't go for that tier 1 with all the vision that they had. They could have dropped the Mars Serpent wards, but Fnatic has something planned and I'm not quite sure what it is. That's a rather unusual call, right? That guys, we're not going to take a tier 1. Instead, they all seem to be moving towards the bottom tier 2. There is a siege wagon. They drop a ward on the cliff. They've got another ward on the low ground.
Okay, yeah.
So they're going for the tier 2 instead.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay for them. They just want to deny control of the whole jungle area to Execration. That's gonna hurt them a lot, considering the fact that they have a Shadow Fiend who wants to farm the jungles. But the good news is they have secured the top half of the map for themselves, so that is where the Shadow Fiend can look to move to if he is denied his own jungle. Still sitting at 31 souls, respawned a while back, hasn't finished completing his souls for now. Looking to go for the Boots of Travel. I can't say I'm a fan of Carl's build this game.
On the Shadow Fiend?
Yeah, on the Shadow Fiend. I think
Blink heals BOTs, solo pick off every now and then, join your team when you need to.
I mean, I think that's kind of shooting yourself in the foot. You have such good team fight on the side of Execration with the Puck, the Chakido, Clockwork, Lifestealer, yada yada. I mean, you should be just looking to team fight and like just convert that into objectives. I don't see the need to pick heroes off. Because if you look at it, like Execration's team fight really is a lot better than Fnatic's. Sure, they have the Doom and a farm
Oh
Templar
yeah.
Assassin, but as long as they can initiate on the Templar Assassin or maybe the Monkey King and take them down instantly, I don't see what Fnatic can really do because they have a lot of disables on the side of Execration and a lot of ways to slow heroes down. They have the Dream Coil, they have the Cogs, they have Lifestealer, they have Jakiro. Yeah, I just don't see why Execration does not team fight this game.
What would you like to see Carl build? A Linkets here?
No, I would like to see any sort of armor item. In fact, I was hoping that he would go for drums, Sanj and Yasha, and then maybe an assault or a Lincoln Sphere, but doesn't seem to be the choice for him this game.
Mm-hmm.
And EE, he did go for the Battle Fury like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, he's picked up the Battle Fury. Going for the BKB next. That means that it's going to take the Lifestealer to bring him down.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to need once he picks up that BKB.
Yeah.
And yeah, Abed has a Blink Dagger. Then mid lane. He lifts his staff but doesn't take a shot at the SF.
Yeah. The Lifestealer is
I mean,
super
Eternal
powerful.
Envy are just getting so much more out of the map. They're just cruising through the enemy jungle. Lifestealers, well, he's bouncing between a small camp and a hard camp. Right now, it seems as if Fnatic have absolute map control.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly have control of the bottom half of the map. They just need to secure themselves the top half of the map. I mean, Ohio is there. He's just making sure that they can't really push it out. And just as I say that...
Hold on, bottom lane, Wukong's command, Boundless Strike, Lumic dropping low. Is that enough with the Aether Shock from Lange? Along with the Aether Lens, they're going to find the kill, but he got a hook shot coming out. EE still on top of the trees, looking to jump left and right. They have vision with the coil. He snaps the coil, he's still alive. And they don't see him. They don't see him. They need the rocket flare. A bang drops it. EE, Yule Scepter, Carl has had enough, unloads the Requiem, gets the kill. It's a dominating streak finally taken away.
Slightly unnecessary there, but I can understand the sentiment on Carl.
I mean, I don't understand the sentiment on EE. He saw 4 heroes, dropped the Wukong's command, wanted to fight. His team didn't join him.
I think he should have just gotten out ASAP. He just instead went deeper into the jungle.
Yeah.
Carl looked to get the Courier in the mid lane, but the Courier protection thing was there.
Pilot has the Doom. They've got the puck. Easy.
Yeah.
Pi and Abed were waiting for a while in that part of the map.
Yeah.
Monkey King dead for 10 seconds. Do you really want to fight? You don't have true sight, so it is a bit of a problem. So Ohio is getting all this information, and it seems as if Fnatic will back off.
Yeah. Now the good thing about Carl's build is that he moves at 530 move speed permanently. That's almost a haste rune. But I'm not sure if he can take advantage of the mobility this early on, given the fact that he doesn't have his level 20 raise damage.
Oh, they've got Abed with the hook shot. Can they burn through the refraction? Do they have detection? Abed finally caught with the dust, the ice path, perfect. And Yaj with the orb will help secure the kill.
I mean, this always happens. Like, every single time, at least once in the game, Abed gets caught out, and from there on onwards, he doesn't die. So I'm guessing this was that death, where he just dies once and then he dies.
Is this like Liquid and Miracle's theory? 3 deaths?
Yep, somewhat. Except for Abed, it's just one time. I mean, if you look at him, he has 2 deaths. I'm not sure what happened with the first time he died, but the second time, just okay, DJ. He has plans of his own.
Yeah, drops the Mars Serpent Wards, has the Shackle. Can we see a nice 2-man impale? No, we won't. The Nyx will fall. They've got TJ in the call. Fnatic, it seems as if it's their turn to throw away the advantage.
Yep. I mean, it wouldn't be Southeast Asia if there were no throws, so... Looks like they're gonna take the tier 1 tower bottom. It's gonna give them some control of their jungle back. Interesting.
Fnatic were playing such a good game. They had vision. The Monkey King was giving them so much vision. The Nyx had vision. And I mean, they sort of got lax and gave away unnecessary kills and took fights when they weren't all present, and they're paying the price.
Yeah, certainly are. Although the good news is EA's almost finished his Black King bar, so has Abed, and the next fight they take is gonna be a lot more easier for them. Especially because Execration just has no way of dealing with BKBs.
Abed has drawn a circle across the top half of the map.
Carl is super happy this game. He's walking around taunting and everything. He has queued up the BKB for himself next. Not too surprised, but would probably still like to see him go for the right click build. I mean,
yeah, I mean, so there are merits for the magic damage build. You want magic damage versus the Monkey King, but then the Monkey King, all he has to do is pick up a BKB. Do you want to invest in magic damage when there's a Doom on the other side? I don't know, if you get doomed, you're not going to get any of your spell stuff, and then where's your damage? You'd much rather invest in physical damage and something like a Lincoln Sphere. That sounds like a better strategy in my eyes.
I agree.
In terms of itemization.
Yeah, I too, for one, think that I should have probably gone drums SNY or maybe Hurricane SNY, and then diverged into other items like Lincoln Sphere. I think BKB is a bit of a waste here if he's gonna be jumping in like a madman, because he's just gonna get doomed and be useless for the rest of the fight. Okay, Wukong's command and
premature Wukong's command. They won this Roshan. They won this Aegis really badly.
Yeah, should have taken it slightly earlier though, I feel. I mean, given that the TA finished a very early Desolator, having that Roshan earlier would mean they could take more objectives and secure more map control for themselves. But now that they have BKBs, they can just start knocking at the tier 2s and taking them down. Having said that though, EE looks like he is looking to farm at least his buyback before the next fight.
I mean, he's queued up his Echo Saber.
Yeah. Is he looking to finish the Echo Saber before the next fight? I think the answer is yes, but speaking of that, Albert, he's just roaming into the enemy off lane. Like it's his own motherland.
It is a game that's been slowed down, and as of now, and even if this game goes later and later, I would place my bets on Fnatic as the team that scales better.
I agree.
Magic damage SF and a Lifestealer versus TA and Monkey King. I would any day go for the TA and the Monkey King.
Yeah, the Doom is the 5th most farmed hero on the network charts right now.
Ohio, Mr. the Impale has the Yule Scepter. They're setting up for a boundless strike, which didn't quite connect. A bang, looks for the hook shot and TP out. He's just gonna pop his TP instead. And he should die with the shackles. DJ gets the kill with the Aether Shock. Well done by Fnatic there.
Yeah, I agree.
This is Execration playing a different type of game.
Yeah, I think it's a type of game that they're not entirely familiar with, which is why they're making all these suboptimal choices.
Yeah, I mean, they're known to play that fast-paced game. And they're slowing things down. And look at this. Lifestealer needs to not get picked off. He'd like to pop his rage and turn around. But Ohio gets the kill. If I'm not mistaken, that was the Mana Burn. And Eternal Envy from the trees with the Boundless Strike has caught Lumik. DJ with the Aether Lens, long range shackles, will secure the kill onto the Jakiro. But all this while, Carl takes a tier 2 top. This is really interesting. So Carl has 3 creeps with him. I'm curious to see if anyone from Fnatic TP is back.
It's gonna be Ohio.
Okay. Monkey King is still giving chase. So Monkey King is at the right place. Does Ohio have a blink? Oh, Monkey King. Oh,
so close.
EE almost read him like a book.
Yeah. I mean, if they got him, it would have possibly been game over for Execration. I mean, Shadow Fiend did have buyback, but there's not much they can do. If you force out a Shadow Fiend buyback at this point in the game, you're gonna have all the map control you want for the next 7-8 minutes.
Yeah. Last tier 2 tower remains in the top lane for Fnatic. They still have the Aegis, don't they?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
they've
expire
got
soon though.
It's gonna expire really soon.
Should expire in like 2 minutes if I'm correct.
Huh. So I think Abed's got the outkit complete. He's also going for a nullifier, which is really good versus the Shadow Fiend will probably render that BKB useless. You've got two sources of mute. Both the Doom as well as the nullifier if Abed does manage to complete it. Mid lane, Abed's gone in with the outkit, weakening down the Shadow Fiend. Both of them toss themselves up in the air. Elsewhere, Ice Path coming out from Lumic, not really catching anyone. Fnatic sense that they're close to ending this game.
Yeah, they can either play it safe. Okay, they have already taken the tier 2, never mind.
They've taken the tier 2, they've got the Mars Serpent Watch, DJ drops it.
They really
want
want
to do a little bit of damage. Yarge goes in with the Infest Bomb. They're trying to bring down the Shadow Shaman, but look at the Wukong's come out, pushing all of them back. Pielidae will fall to a bang. They did manage to bring down the Shadow Shaman as well as the Nyx and the Doom. EE with his BKB nowhere to go is forced to jump on top of the trees and fall right back.
They need to find something more. They need to find the Sabet Templar Assassin.
Yeah, I mean, that was all Yarge with his initiation. Picture perfect. Jumped right on top of 3 heroes. Had a good Waning Rift. Lifestealer bought down the Shadow Shaman. Then you had a hook shot coming in from a Bang. And,
Making up for the early game.
So SEA has a Bang, a Bing, and an Abed. What's with these names? They're very... They fascinate me.
Yeah. I mean...
A Bing plays for Entity. A Bang... I'm sure... I think a Bang is a different person.
Yeah, I agree.
He's playing the position for Execration. Then you got Abed, who everyone knows of.
Yeah. I mean... There's also a TNT and there's a TMT, so it's M and N.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very similar names in Southeast Asia. So, Monkey King has finished up the Echo Saber. Aquila is sitting in his backpack for now, Ohio. Looking forward. Is he buying wards? Oh, was that ward bought by Pielidae? Huh.
I don't know. I saw Ohio plant that one. Not sure if he bought that one.
I think it's probably Pielidae buying the wards and just Ohio taking them and placing them. I mean, he can do it much better than the Doom can with his Vendetta. Also,
Pielidae's got a Blink, a Crimson Guard, and a Spirit Vessel.
Yeah, this is a hard Doom to bring down. You can't... I mean, this is where the magical build kind of helps, but once this Doom has BKB or Pipe, it's gonna become harder. Looks like Carl has finished up a Scythe of Ice for himself. Very interesting decision making in terms of items for Carl.
Okay. Enable the Lifestealer, let him do all the damage. That seems to be the plan.
Yeah, but the problem is this Lifestealer, I mean, once the rage is out, there's not much he's gonna be able to do. I mean, unless they bring down Monkey King in that first rage, I don't think they're gonna be able to win the fight.
So they weren't able to bring down Monkey King. They were, oops, I missed that. They were able to bring down the rest. Excuse me. They were able to bring down the Doom, the Shaman, and the Nyx. And I don't know, unless they're bought really low, I don't see how the Monkey King and the TA win the fight 2v5.
I think, yeah, I don't see how they win that fight either. They just have a lot of control for Execration. Once those BKBs wear out, there's not much they can do.
Execration smoked up, moving to the top lane. They've had enough. They won the Shaman. They should get this kill. Carl is here as well. Doesn't use the Hex. Do they know that E is in the trees? Has a orb coming off cooldown in a bit. Lumic does have the mag. Yeah, they orb him. They orb him. They coil him. They got the Magnifier. Magnifier destroys trees and no. I spot to begin with.
Oh, he got stunned though.
Trees. Yeah, the Magnifier did break the trees. They've got the stun. I didn't know that stun pierces spell immunity. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Abed with the nullifier. Still not enough to bring down a Shadow Fiend. But yeah, 2 huge kills for Execration. And I think they're just going to march down the top lane and force out buybacks.
I agree. I think you should just let the Rax go top because right now Execration can't convert that into a bigger advantage. They can just take one set of Rax
I
and back
mean,
off.
mhm.
But looks like they're gonna go for Roshan instead, and I think that's the better idea.
Roshan won't be up for a couple of minutes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's gonna respawn in 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Hmm. But Ohio is tracking Raging Potato as well as a Bang.
Hmm. I mean, this is why the Nyx Assassin is so good. It's kind of like in the last patch, I'm sorry, not the last patch, but approximately 2 years ago, Treant used to do this kind of thing where all he really did throughout the game was scout out enemies and their movement,
Oh
and
yeah.
that would be super helpful.
Are you talking about when Nature's Guys was not a route and you could
Yes.
actually apply it to your teammates?
Yes, that's the time I'm talking about. So he would just move around the map, spot out all these heroes where they're farming, and then they could set up pickoffs or team fights as they saw fit. I think Nyx has moved into that role a few patches later. I think he does that very well too, especially since Vendetta duration is so long. I mean, at max level, the duration is longer than the cooldown, so you can almost be perma-invis and roam around the map.
Hmm.
Top lane. The Shadow Fiend is
Yeah.
really farmed. That's a Lincoln Sphere to his name on top of the BKB. Curious to see if he'll build an E-Blade this game.
I think once again we're inching closer and closer to that point in the game where it's just like one team fight away from everything going to shit.
I agree. I think for the SF he might replace his Yule Scepter with E-Blade when he has the gold, or even a Dagon could be really nice, considering the heroes of Fnatic are weak to magical damage once the BKBs
Okay.
are popped.
Well, for now, Execration have smoked up. Roshan will respawn in 40 seconds. There's a side trap in the pit.
Oh,
And they
it's like
are
Royale got
on the
spotted.
hunt. Yeah, but I don't think he can land this hook line. They might be having detection, Ohio. You don't want to be doing this. He's not got a blink. His 4-staff is on cooldown. A Bang knows he's nearby. Pings do come in the correct direction, but it's already too late. Hook shot even being thrown out by a Bang. I mean, I understand the sentiment. If they got that kill, it could have been huge for them. Might have allowed them to move towards Roshan.
But that's alright, they still force TPs out. They can probably. I mean, they can still probably try to get Roshan, but Fnatic is gonna contest them very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the TA has also bought herself a Boots of Travel. Looks like she wants to respond to the split pushing that Shadow Fiend is tossing out this game. I mean, that.
And he goes for the halberd.
Yeah. Super good against the Lifestealer.
Mm-hmm.
Can't attack for good 4 seconds.
Mid lane. Seems like we have a fight brewing out. Lumic is jumped upon. Immediate nullifier. Eliminated with the Impale. And TPs are coming in. Gal will clear the way. Piladai jumps in, wants to drop the Doom, gets hook shot, quick Yule Scepter, not sure who that was. Ohio, excuse me, the Crimson Guard coming out from Piladai, but he's caught in the cogs. He might just end up dying. Please use the Doom, sir. Only pops the Linkins. Piladai. I don't know, but top lane, Shaman, he's done a little bit of work. They do secure the tier 3. They're moving on to the barracks. EE working at mid. Fnatic about to win this best of 3 can Execration fight. 23 seconds without the Jakiro, 55 seconds without the puck. How do Execration defend? They have to, they have no choice, but they want that puck so badly. They've got an invest bomb set up, but there's a boundless strike cancelling Carl's blink. Quick cogs coming out from the clockwork. There's the invest bomb, the Yule Scepter as well as the nullifier. Buttons are being pressed on the Shadow Shaman, and Paladai along with Abed want to bring him down. Defensive Yule Scepter, BKB from Abed, but a quick blink away. Elsewhere, Lifestealer caught. Does end up eating the Aether Shock. Quick Infernal Blade will mean that Paladai secures the kill. Lumic on the Jakiro respawns, drops the Ice Path, the Macropire, but Carl once again forced to pop his BKB, and Clockwork hook shotted into the fight, got caught in the shackles and went down again. Lumic respawns, dies thanks to the nullifier, while Abeng is desperate to find a kill in return. Ohio running on a sliver of HP and Abeng falling in his own cogs. They have also hexed up the Shadow Fiend, who ends up falling courtesy the Hex and the Nullifier. A lot of control coming out amongst DJ and Abid. Buyback still coming through from Execration. They want to turn this fight around. He got the coil, the hex as well, and with the razors, they'll find the kill. EE on the trees, wants yards on the park, but he might pay with his own life here. Abid's here, he's got the nullifier, he's got the Orchid as well, and the nullifier does dispel the Yule Scepter. They get 2 lanes of racks, they force multiple buybacks.
I think that's game.
Yeah, the tier 3 falls in the bottom lane as well. Abid as well as EE still working on the barracks here. I don't think Carl can defend this. He's got the hex, but really, what does the hex and a couple of razors do?
Not much.
Yeah, they lost 3
mega
sets
creeps.
of barracks.
Okay. Looks like Execution are not gonna tap out given that it's game.
Mid lane, Ohio goes in with the Impale. Numic dies once more.
I really like the talent rework for TA. So previously it used to be a choice between meld armor reduction and refraction instances. Now you can get both of them. Since at level 20 you get -4 meld armor reduction, and at level 25 you get refraction instances.
Well, they are going to find a kill on the Nyx. That's the second Requiem I've seen result in a kill. All that magic damage hasn't done too much. Execration, they've had enough. They've tapped out. GG is the call. And yeah, that's it from Execration. Fnatic take the series 2-0. But yeah, that's it from us for the day. We will be casting some SCA Dota throughout the week. We got WESG, we got ESL Katowice, we got these regionals will continue tomorrow as well. We're from AFK Gaming. You can tune in for all our updates at afkgaming.com, where we have a whole lot of content surrounding SCA, Dota and CS. We're also at facebook.com/afkgamingesports. My name is Vivek, with me is Floki, and for one last time, let us pay homage to our curry caster origins.
Enjoy, guys!
Born in the country of Cast, Curry, Cows, and Crusader level Dota, 4 boys fought to become the best curry casters in all of SEA. Having gone through a rigorous regimen of Bollywood dancing, and ancient Eastern vocal exercises.
Hello sir, welcome to technical support. How may I help you?
Hey, my coffee holder's broken.
I beg pardon sir?
You know you push that button on your computer and the coffee holder comes out?
Sir, no one has ever done that. No one has ever done that in the history of Dota.
They do play-by-play.
Splinter Blast from Fly, rolling bullet coming in from Jerax, he drops the magnetize, has the urn, you got the Arctic Burn coming out from Fly, Geomagnetic Grip coming through from Jerax, Boulder Smash to follow, they bring down Chessie, and
They do SEA.
Magandang gabi, Luke!
Magandang gabi.
Let's see!
Gago!
Oh, Gago, this is Gaga!
Ulol,
you cannot spell Ulol without you!
Loki, B-Wake, Gambit, and CloudX are back. Back to back. Only at AFK Gaming.